I think we're rolling.
All right, guys. Welcome to Cleveland Moto Podcast number 349. It's always nice when the board gets updated early. So we're not using paper. It's not awful. It's not hard to look at. We don't have a featured bike of the week this week. We just don't. Although I did ride today, and I got to have a rollicking good ride into the shop today. I rode the 1965 Vespa Super Sport.
You rode into the shop. I hope you're okay.
Oh, I rode into the shop with 3 pizzas earlier. You missed that. I literally rode through the door carrying pizzas on a modern Vespa.
Are they going to be able to fix the door after you rode through it?
Dad joke. But yeah, I rode in on the Vespa, like an old vintage Vespa. It's 48 degrees when I left the house this morning. Yep. And 48 to grizzles. I was glad I wasn't moving too fast. It was definitely. But I've got a mountain of money worth of suspension that desperately needs to go into that bike because it is dangerous to ride the way it is right now.
When it gets this cold in Ohio and you ride in the morning, elevation changes are
12 feet. 12 feet of elevation changes is like 1 degree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, you go into a valley and you're like, oh, fuck. And you're like, that was a 12-foot valley. Yeah. That was literally just a low spot. Yeah. But all that cold air is just sitting in there.
And then you get to the part where the fog is just kind of floating over the road.
Oh, yeah. You know, that 480-77 interchange is the worst. It's like always freezing cold this time of year right there.
Because it's just a big, wide open area, and there's just no kind of tree block. There's nothing to keep the wind down, and that's just, you're going to be cold in there no matter what you do. Yeah. But I bundled up this morning like, I was flannel lined pants, all my good gear. I had everything on like I was going to have on because I was like, I'm riding a vintage bike. I'm not going to be going over 50, but there's also probably a 25% over and under that I'm not going to make it. Because when you're riding a bike from 1965, shit happens. Sure. Weird shit happens. So
you want to be warm while you're sitting on the side of the road.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, when I'm sitting on the side of the road waiting for somebody to pick me up named James with my own truck, I'm going to be wanting to be comfortable. I want to enjoy myself and have a nice fully charged battery on my phone for doing the Facebook updates and whatnot. So, yeah, but it was fun to ride in and very, just chilly weather. So that's it. Anybody else ride today? I mean, obviously showed up on your Triumph. Yep. You rode. I saw you rode the little baby blue Sim.
Yep.
That's in really nice shape.
The Sim?
Yeah, it looks brand new.
Oh, man. Yeah. But you do know that's his bike? Yeah. Like his bike's a transformer. Yeah. You put the key in, turn it left, and it turns into My Little Pony. Yeah, that thing is...
Just pile on. And then all I had to hear is this from John all day long.
Hey, speaking of Transformer, did you guys see the meme that was going around? It's like when your dad's an electrician and a little girl wanted to be a Transformer for Halloween. And so she's like, they show one picture and the little girl's looking up at her dad. She's like, I want to be a Transformer in the bubble. And then the next picture is her like looking like a Transformer that you find on a fucking pole.
Oh, a Transformer, making her look like an actual.
So it was like a tube around her with a couple of like the metal. Like
I get it.
And a burnt squirrel on top of her.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you turn the key the wrong way in his bike, it turns into Rainbow Dash. That's it. Yep.
The other one, it's never leave a dad home with kids that want to have costumes. And he took a Power Wheels and made it into the mutt from Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then he dressed the two kids in a light blue and an orange tuxedo. And they were just fucking driving around in this thing everywhere.
I see nothing wrong with any of that.
Not at all.
Yeah, that's good. You give him a can of expanding foam, stand the fuck back. Everybody's going to have costumes.
We have a project we're working on. She wanted a giant axe, so we're making it.
So you're making it like a huge World of Warcraft, some kind of crazy.
Well,
anime.
like in Resident Evil, where the big guy has that big axe.
Yeah.
What are you making it out of? Foam?
It's expanded spray foam.
Of course.
It's his favorite. That's the media in which he works.
Right.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
John, I didn't know you had 5 bedrooms in your house.
Every piece of clothing I have has a little dot that'll never come off.
That stuff is.
And it sucks because sometimes you just get a dot on you and you forget about it. Right. And then when you get inside, it's a fucking golf ball. And you're like, God damn it.
Yeah. Oh, that will be there forever. Once you have expanding spray foam on anything you own, just throw it away.
Yeah. I think that's the perfect self-defense. Mm-hmm. An M80 strapped to one of those cans.
Yes.
Oh my God. Throw it at somebody and it's like, and then it's like stuck all over them, and then it just starts expanding.
Well, you know what the thing is? You're not dead, but you wish you were.
Do you guys remember just a couple of months ago, there was that lady. She was like a fashionista, African American lady.
Yeah.
And she used really strong hair stuff.
Right.
And she couldn't find it.
Gorilla
so
glue.
She used Gorilla Glue.
She used Gorilla
in
Glue,
her hair.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
slick her hair back.
Yep.
She literally was on the thing going.
Yeah, well, she's gonna, and exactly. That was the last day before she was bald, and then she was bald for a while.
We did expanding foam and gifts the one year, so thought we were smart. So we put everything inside a plastic bag and then duct taped it and put it in a box and expanding foamed it. Didn't realize how much fucking heat is created when expanding foam is like curing, right?
Right.
Melted the fucking
Everything.
duct tape. I mean, it was just a goo ball, and he had to cut through it to get his gift. It was the best thing
Dude,
ever.
I had at the recording studio I worked at, my boss had a $6,000 Les Paul that he sold,
Yeah.
and he decided to do the same thing. He put garbage bags, filled them with foam, put the guitar on it, then closed everything.
Oh shit!
Got to the guy's thing, exactly what you just
Yeah.
described was a block of
Ruined.
fucking foam, man.
Just ruined. Oh, that's awful. That's fucking terrible.
It was hilarious, actually.
Well, I mean, the fact that it ruined a really expensive guitar.
Yeah.
He's trying to be careful.
Yeah. Well, he was a dick, though. So,
Well, you lose that. To my left is,
Dan KROMPKE.
and to his left,
Steve Sleepy.
and to his left.
Chris Smith.
Are you wearing a Natty Bow?
Yeah.
An actual Natty Bow baseball jersey?
Yeah.
Fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
You know
What's
Natty
the name
Bo?
of the Natty Bow mascot? What's his name? Is it Bo? The little dude that's always winking, perpetually winking on the back? Yeah, there he goes. That's the dude. Yeah. I would make sense
Isn't
his
that
name
the
would
Pringles
be Bo.
potato chip
In
guy?
Wisconsin, they call that a bohunk.
A bow hunk? Yeah, there you go.
Or a Hunyak.
A hunyak. And to his left,
Steve Hofford.
and to his left,
Johnny.
Trying to get your words out. Use your words.
Wait.
Words are hard.
I know most of you guys can't see this, but it is October, almost the end of October. It's getting cold outside.
it is getting cold out.
So John bust out the socks and Birkenstocks.
Oh, yeah, you got the Birkenstocks? Yeah. Wow. And then to his left,
Chris Franklin.
yeah. And it is, again, we are going to have to institute a seating chart.
Sure.
Because now that these guys are literally living together, yeah. Oh, boy. Yep. Yeah, here we go. I totally fucking get that. So,
I'm filing for a separation.
You could never do it.
I would like to announce that last week we had 6,100 listeners.
Is that good?
It's pretty fucking great. It's the highest number we've ever had.
Wow.
So 6,100. Yeah, 6,100 people, 6,100 human beings last week decided to listen to this.
Can I
So that
please
is-
quit my job?
So it's like the conversation we had prior to this about that German psychologist that talks about stupid people.
Low emotional IQ.
Yeah.
Exactly. Low emotional IQ people gathering in large groups.
But what we do know is that there was 6,999 men.
Oh, yeah. One woman. Yeah. One woman. Yeah. Our one female listener. What I would like to,
And it's probably some dude listening on his wife's account
completely.
because he doesn't know how to use the
100% absolutely.
iPod.
It is, yes. And you know what? You're exactly fucking right. It is totally, it is some guy like Bruce Gordon who's been kicked off the internet so many times he has to use his wife's handle. So all of a sudden it's going to be like Brucella Gordon, our one female listener. No, hasn't been a woman
No, it's Rebecca.
ever.
Rebecca Gordon.
Rebecca Gordon.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. Interesting thing here at the shop, we sold another Zero Police motorcycle.
Oh, well done.
So if you're traveling in the village of Woodmere, be careful.
All block.
You won't hear them
The
coming.
block of Woodmere.
So yes, so here in
the
Cleveland,
one block of Woodmere.
so in Cleveland, we have two places where you're liable to get a ticket, but not liable to know that you're in a different town.
Right.
So we have a place called Lyndale, which is 36 houses. Yeah, 36 houses.
I used to
The
run,
village of
I used to
Lyndale.
run Woodmere's wastewater plant.
The village of the village of
Buddy
Lyndale.
was a cop there, yeah.
How the fucking wait? How can Woodmere? Because Woodmere is literally only 4 streets.
It's got its own wastewater plant.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
It's 4 streets.
Yeah.
It's got its own wastewater
So
plant.
basically, that's
Make lots
zero.
of fun of Lyndale police, please.
But that zero,
Yeah.
he can literally go back and forth like what 100 times.
Oh, it's a ridiculous. So Woodmere Police Department just purchased a 0 DSR.
Right.
So you're right. You're right. They will charge it once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he patrols the Apple Store parking lot, because then he'd just be driving.
But I think really what happens with Woodmere is I think because Woodmere and Lindale are both they're somewhat close to a freeway.
Yeah.
But the freeway exits and on-ramps aren't actually in their towns.
Nope.
Right? So to get on the freeway, you have to go into a different city. To get off the freeway, you have to go into a different city. But that doesn't stop them from having police cars there perpetually. Mm-hmm. And the state of Ohio says that traffic cameras are illegal. Doesn't matter in Lindale and Woodmere. Nope. They're still going to have them up. If you pay the ticket, you're an idiot because they can't pursue you for it. There are no points associated with it.
That area is kind of hoity-toity.
They both run mayor's courts, as it were, right? It's a very strange thing. But it's like if you get a ticket in Lindale, like on the bottom of the summons that they send you of the picture of your car, it says like, tickets are us. Like it ain't anything real. It's a corporation that they lease a camera from for an absurd amount of money. Lindale earned like $1 million in revenue.
Why don't we do that in front of this store?
Exactly. Right.
Just put up a camera, take people's pictures and send them all a letter.
There was a joke many, many years ago. We could just put up our own toll booth. Right? And that was just it.
Well, Lindale actually makes, when the cameras first went in, they made more their first month than they did a whole year's revenue.
Correct.
First month. Yeah. And that has continued ever since.
Right.
There's a reason there's no cars on highways, and there hasn't been for years, because the red light cameras more than double.
Way more money.
Well, the reason the cop cars aren't on the highways about 15 or 20 years ago, that got outlawed by the state of Ohio because they did not have
an
on-ramp or an off-ramp. And
one actually got overturned. They were, after that was done, they were, up until they did the red light cameras, they were still on the highway.
Wow.
And I can tell you that firsthand.
Wow. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah.
And the Lindale cop was like 400 pounds.
Well, again,
the one guy was.
Here's something I will tell you.
Been the chief.
Having a little bit of background, having a little bit of background in it. If the state tells a department not to do something, the department goes, "Okay, I won't do it anymore." And they stop paying the leasing company for the cameras or whatever because there's a whole package. These companies lease this to your department. Mm-hmm. And, they'll put the camera up and they'll do the maintenance on the camera and they'll handle sending the summons out, the fake summons and the whole deal. And then, when people don't pay it, then they will actually send the department the little notice that says, oh, Sister Mary Rottencrotch didn't pay this thing that we sent her. How do you want to act about it? Well, then it's up to the city, the shire or whatever the fuck it is, to decide how they're going to act about it, right? And
they have to call
I grew up in a borough.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of those things. And
borough.
Most recently, the big problem was the company that Lindale had contracted through was sending all of the summonses to the wrong people's. Yeah. So you'd get a ticket and you'd be like, that is not me. That is not mine at all. I do not own a purple Fiero. It's not.
That's John McElfreesh's car.
Never have, never will, whatever. But so that's this thing. And the problem was, guess what? Your ticket went to him. My ticket went to you. They're not getting paid. So they're not getting paid because people look at it and go, fuck that, I'm not paying that.
Boy, this poor asshole's going to be screwed.
And since there's no municipality behind it, it's all being done by a third-party vendor. The third-party vendor is the one shooting out the late notices and everything else. And then eventually the city of Lindale goes, we've noticed a hole in our profit margin. Pursue these and submit these as actual summons to the state. And all of these ones that were misappropriated to different people got submitted to the state of Ohio as being actual violations all of a sudden, which would have points on them and have fines and fees and could go to jail like a real adult. But you're like, I've got my summons. If I look deep enough in my, my junk drawer, I can find this thing they sent me that has a picture of somebody else's car on it with somebody else's name on it. I did exactly what I'm supposed to do with it. I threw it the fuck away. Right. And they're having some problems.
My rule is if it doesn't come certified mail, then it didn't come at all.
That's another good way to. That's a really
because if they didn't send it certified,
makes things tougher on your wife.
Yeah.
Although speaking of wife, that's what I did with Cleveland when Cleveland sent me my speeding ticket. They said, if you're not the one driving it, mark the little box and tell us who was. And I marked the little box and says, I don't have to tell you. Ohio law says that I don't have to speak against my wife.
Yeah, there you go.
And so I went down that whole route, and they said, well, then your wife is driving. I said, I didn't say that.
Right.
I just don't have to talk about it.
Right.
And that didn't get me anywhere, so I finally paid it.
Nice.
Oh, well, it's good enough.
Right? I tried it.
Yep. Yeah, so Lindale's submitting all the things to the Parma court,
Yes.
which is hilarious because, of course, Parma was like, we can make a buck.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but it was just during COVID because so many people stopped driving during COVID that resource, that revenue just dropped out. And look, Lindale is not without its own amount of drama. Their mayor hired her boyfriend to be the prosecutor.
Yep. And she doesn't really live there.
It's like
She doesn't really live
no,
there.
she doesn't.
doesn't.
No, she's
She
like
doesn't.
she lives
She never
in
has.
like Lakewood or Clifton. Like she lives in Cleveland, but her mom's house has
in
been in
there.
Lindale for ages. But they like pretend like somebody lives there, but nobody lives there.
So it's essentially.
Yeah, but it's
Not
like
a mayor.
if you're the mayor, you can't hire your boyfriend to be the prosecutor. Just going to tell you, your boyfriend, the person that lives with you and has an address that's with you and you're romantically involved with, you cannot be the mayor and be paying him to be the prosecutor. That's just wrong. This, well, at least the state of Ohio thought it was wrong.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the state of Ohio got involved. They thought it was unethical,
Took
even
a
for
little while,
Lindale.
though, right? It took them a little while, though. The government does work a little slow.
It does work
It's
pretty
like,
slow. But what if we just break up?
right? Maybe this just won't work out. We don't have to get
Right.
involved.
I think basically we just tell the state that we're just seeing other people. if we break up, am I still prosecutor? It's fucking weird, man.
Oh, yeah.
But it's Lindale, and Lindale's been the butt of a joke in Cleveland forever. And the joke was always like, you'd be sliding down 71 South at 90 miles an hour. You'd get to Lindale, and you would just look up and be like, oh, shit, they have 5 cars pulled over. Yeah.
I can't tell you how much they sweat bullets every time there's a census.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, dude, they sweat bullets
Yeah.
and they send cops door to door and try to like find ways to like bring people
To
in.
beef up the population.
Yeah, they do.
There's 79 people that live there. I looked it up today.
They have done everything from trying to have apartments built in there to you name it. The craziness that has gone on in that village.
Whatever the cutoff is, I did see that like the state average, like the average income for the state of Ohio, Lindale's like 40% of that. It's not great. And it does beg the question: why do you have a police department? Like, why do you have a village?
But they used to have that huge limousine parked in that parking lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was
At
like
the Lindale Police Department? At the Lindale
no,
Mayor's?
there was like that one building, that one.
the bar right next to across from it, from the city hall. Right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There
Yeah,
used
it's
to be
like
the
a-
bar and
And there was a huge limousine with a hot tub in the back of it.
Really?
Yeah, with like 10 flat tires.
Oh, shit. That's hilarious. Yeah, go ahead.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hand it to you, and I'll let you have fun with that. All right. Look at that thing. What does that look like?
Harley Pan America, too expensive for you. Enter the Leafon KPT 400. American inspired, made in China. Oh my God. So
It
that's
took them what,
Leafon,
like 5 seconds?
Leafon KPT 400. So somebody tell me about this Chinese copy of the Skid game.
Squid Game.
Yeah, who said that? You did, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just read it. The Squid Game. I mean, I don't know how many people watched it. A lot of people, evidently,
people,
because
yeah.
it made $1 billion. But
My nephew's making bank. Him and his buddies, they've been doing game development for Roblox, and one of the characters they built was a Squid Game character for Roblox.
Oh,
They got $120,000 for that.
nice.
So he gets like 30,000 of that.
Nice.
Plus, there's like all kinds of other pluses.
Wow.
Yeah, the college dropout.
Yeah.
Apparently, the right way to go.
He's
for
dropped back
absolutely.
in. Okay, so this is clearly what they did was they took whatever motorcycle they had hanging around, whatever motorcycle they had hanging around, and I don't know what it was. I don't care. Then they took a Cylon Raiders helmet that was left over at, the Chinese version of KB Toy and Hobby.
Right.
And all they did was they took the Cylon Raiders helmet and stuck it on the front of whatever motorcycle they had hanging around. Because that's really what it is. It has just modified cheek pieces and a modified front, use the term carefully, grill?
Look at the crash bars. What are they attached to in the front?
I think they're attached to plastic.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're attached to plastic. They're not hooked to anything metal. Yeah. No, it's clearly, but again, you can't look at that headlamp and think anything other than, oh boy, this is clearly a ripoff of an Africa Twin. I'm sorry, Harley Panamera. Yeah.
I bet that's the same bulb that they use in the Braun light at Harbor Freight.
I think you're right.
You get them for free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, that's a riot, man. So it didn't take long.
Nope.
Didn't take long.
But it was a big week. So this week also they announced that Honda applied for patents in every fucking known country in the world to bring out the Africa or the Transalp.
Yeah.
700cc
Right.
Transalp.
The mini twin. The mini Africa Twin.
And it's not going to be the NC motor. So it's not going to be like a low revving turd.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be something new.
I don't believe you.
I didn't make it up. I just read it.
I mean,
will it be a V twin?
Yes. No, it's a parallel.
No, it's a parallel twin. Yeah, for sure.
So it won't be a Transalp then.
Well, I've just
Not a Transalp.
Yes, not a Transalp. Right. Let's just acknowledge the fact right now that it's not going to be an actual
I think it
Transalp.
was on Ride Apart or Ride
Right.
something, or they had the information about it.
Yeah, they're putting out stuff, and I do like, this is a 2008 Honda Transalp. So this is a V twin. This motorcycle that you're looking at here is a bike that we didn't get in America because we don't get all the things in America. But this is kind of a fun looking bike. It has personality to it. It's very different. I saw Kevin Rosman posted a picture of a red, white, and blue Transalp today, or a blue and white Transalp like yours.
And the ADV 300.
The ADV 300. That's right. Yeah. So
That one may be coming here.
that's the Honda scooter that.
That's a Forza with extra plastic.
I was going to say it's a Forza with extra plastic. Now, I think, of course, in the be careful what you give the American market category is if the Americans are like, yeah, you need to bring the ADV 300 to America, and then you do it, then they're going to say, you need to bring the ADV 750 to America. And I think that could be something they run into here because, there are a lot of people that I know that have said, well, I'm not buying a scooter until they bring the XADV 300 to America. And I'm like, you're riding a 23-year-old bike. Mm-hmm. You haven't bought shit in 23 years. So
You're not going to buy this one.
I don't think this is going to be the thing that pushes you over the edge there, tight pants.
Well, and not only that, but like the thing now, like if you ever spend any time on Adventure Rider or any of the forums, right?
Yeah.
All these guys will be like, well, if this bike, like they'll bring out a 250 or something.
Yeah.
They're like, if this bike was 400 cc's and just about 10 pounds heavier, and this, I'd buy it. So
you buy it right now.
KTM comes out with the 400 that's like 290 pounds. Oh, it's too heavy. It's too fat. Bad gearing.
No. America has always been the market of don't ever, ever, ever give an American what they ask for. You'll end up with a genuine G400C. Because a genuine G400C is every single thing, every single customer that was ever asked for like 6 motorcycle shows in a row. They said, here's a blank sheet of paper. I want these 4,000 people to write exactly what they want. And then we're going to give a different sheet that has boxes on it that you get to check. And so we'll take a 10-question survey that has 4 answers to each one, and we'll give it to the other 10,000 people. And our job is to take the ones that were checking the boxes and the ones that were freestyle writing in, and we're going to put them together in a room, and we're going to make the perfect motorcycle based on that. They did. It was called the G400C. They sold 7 of them.
What's this thing look like?
I'll pull it up. Give me a second. But yeah, the G400C is the genuine, the answer to all of your, but I want a standard motorcycle with fuel injection and a Kickstarter.
Well, that's what you had, right? You had 2 of them.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, it only took us 97 years to sell them. Yeah, right.
It looks like an SL.
It looks like everything. Yeah. Do you know why it looks like everything? Because it was built by committee. Right. It looks like everything because it is literally everything.
I mean, I still like that bike.
Don't get me wrong. So do 93,000 other people that didn't buy one.
Right.
And if one of you I like that bike would have come off your I like my wallet, there would have been a lot more of those I like that bikes out there. But instead, it's been a bike that has turned to fucking wood on the sales floor. And that's a problem.
I want to find one and make it in a cafe racer.
Oh, yeah, it comes pre-cafe racer.
Somebody should scramble one of those.
I know, right?
If only somebody did that.
Oh, yeah. I wonder who. Like, what fucking knucklehead would fucking scrambler one of these motherfuckers? Oh, that guy. That guy right there. That dude. Yeah, that guy. So it really is like, that's one of those examples where we watched that bike take place. I mean, they worked so hard. Genuine Scooter Company worked so fucking hard to make sure that they weren't building a bike until they had interviewed every fucking person in America. It took like 6 years for that bike to come out. And when it did finally come out, everybody went, oh, really?
They only had to interview 3% of the people.
Yeah. Right.
The other 97% don't know shit.
Well, they interviewed everybody at the motorcycle show. So they interviewed everybody at the motorcycle show, at the International Motorcycle Show. They interviewed everybody at the Dealers Expo. You know, they asked people who own motorcycles what they wanted, and then they made sure to talk to a company that could do it for them. And they took a bike that's very well respected, made American alterations to it. Yay. They did all those kinds of things. And we've ridden them, we've tested them, we've been all over the goddamn things. But half of the pictures you see of that bike have me on it. But apparently we're out there one hand clapping, you know. Good, great, you know. That's cool. But
well, they wanted to make sure they didn't make a mistake putting it out. Because nobody would buy it if they made a mistake.
They brought that thing out, and they brought it out, and despite everything in the world, I've heard 50 people give 50 different reasons why it didn't succeed. And I'm going to say the main reason it didn't succeed is because they asked Americans what they should bring in. And that's really what it is. And that's what it came down to. And the bike is goddamn $39.99. So $4,000 for a 400cc motorcycle that goes goddamn near 100 miles per hour. It's a sore dick deal. I mean, there's nothing you can do to beat that situation. And you could just hear the bike in the corner getting sadder and sadder and sadder. Nobody will play with me. This is the fifth battery that's been installed in me.
So when the scarves are gone, are you going to put the...
Yeah, the hats are gone. So yeah, talk about that shit. So, 2 weeks ago, we throw up our special Cleveland Moto sponsorship deal is buy a hat for $20. We underestimated the power of our fucking listeners. Sold the hats in 3 days. All gone. Gonzo. So last week we talked about the scarves. So that one dropped today, a couple of hours ago. We've already had 3 or 4 orders come in for the scarves.
Or a dick warmer.
A dick warmer.
Next week's the G400.
Yeah, next week's going to be the G400. Yep. But that's a limited one of one. No, actually, you guys notice we don't have a G400 in here?
Yeah.
Because it took us a while to sell our last one. And then COVID happened, right? So we have one guy. This is a true story. Everybody that has bought a bike this year, every single person that bought a bike, even people that bought odd-colored Vespas in June, they have all received their bikes. Everybody who bought a bike this entire year has received their bike, except one poor bastard who bought his G400C in May.
Oh, my God.
And it's not here yet.
He had to have the red one?
I can't even remember. I seriously cannot even remember. But there was some reason he didn't buy our Scrambler that we had because we sold the Scrambler to somebody else.
Right. But you still had a red one here, too. Though.
But I even told the guy, I was like, I will de-Scramblerify that thing for you if you really want to. No, wait. I've called him 4 times. Do you want your deposit back? I feel fucking so bad for you.
I was going to say, at least it'll be paid off by the time he gets it.
Oh, yeah. No, they're going to repossess a bike that hasn't arrived yet. He hasn't made his last 3 payments. We're going to repo the bike. It's going to be the only bike that's retroactively repossessed. When it shows up,
proactively repossessed.
It's going to literally be
His warranties are going to already be expired.
Pre-possession. It is, yeah. His warranty will be out before his bike shows up. Yeah, I get it. But it's pretty fucking funny that nonetheless. And I don't hate the bike at all. I really like the bike, but
It's based off an XR400 motor.
it's we know all the bones of the bike. It's all a good bike. The problem is, again, to people like us, we know which bikes we can buy that are the original version of the same bike and has the actual historical provenance if we wanted one. You could buy an Ascot. No problem. Somebody could buy an SR500. No problem. Like all the bikes that it's based on still exist in the world. You want to buy a CB450. They're out there. They exist. So, yeah.
So what they need to produce is a bike that you can't really get, like an atmospheric valve, single cylinder, 7 horsepower Indian from 1911.
Yeah, it's called a Janus.
Yeah.
They make one of those, which proves they make every goddamn thing you'd ever want to have. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's easier right now to get a Janus and spend a few $100 making it look more antique-y than it actually is.
More Janusy?
and make it a bigger fooler than it would be to ever buy an actual real pre-war bike.
So you say it's really easy to get into a Janus right now.
It's really easy to get into a Janus.
Especially Chris's.
Yeah.
You could slip right in.
The
Keep them coming.
yeah, it never gets old.
very loose
Yeah,
terms.
it never, ever gets old. I'm going to find this fucking thing, but so recently, and I mean recently, like in within the past couple of days, we talked about me buying that classic Lambretta for $1,500. And so we bought this classic Lambretta for $1,500.
Do you hate it yet?
What's that?
Do you hate it yet?
No, but I was like, I was starting to hate on myself.
Oh, okay.
For spending so much fucking money on it. And
I thought I heard "stupid" on your lips. Like,
Yeah,
I bought
it's
that
just right.
stupid Lambretta. Why did I do that?
And that's what it comes into. Is it's just like, it's just a funny thing to think. Okay, I'm buying a $1,500 bike. That's a really, really old bike, right? And it's $1,500. I usually buy stuff that's nicer, right? Well, it turns out that a Lambretta TV 200, which is that bike's big brother, right? The next level up, just sold at auction in the UK, and I'm just gonna say, we'll play a little guessing. If I can find a picture of it where it doesn't actually have the price on it, okay. We'll play that. We'll play that game, but one of them just sold, and I don't feel so bad about spending the $1,500 anymore. I'm just going to say that. It's that kind of a thing where we just kind of think that we've seen a whole bunch of shit. We think that we've seen everything, and then something happens, and we all kind of take a step back and go, "Is that where things are right now, or did they just find one fucking idiot?" Because all it takes is one fucking idiot to ruin it for everybody. Like one idiot buys one thing for way too much money, and now everybody thinks their fucking purple Beanie Babies worth $10,000. Right?
NFTs. That's all I'm saying.
What's that?
NFTs. Right?
What's that? I have no idea.
Non-fungible
Oh,
tokens.
non-fungible tokens?
Yeah.
What? Somebody bring me up to speed on that, because I think I missed the whole fucking thing. I missed that.
I don't think you missed it. Like
No, it's just they're just basically like shit that you can get for free on the internet.
Okay.
Like Beeple. Beeple's the famous guy. He put out for 13 years, every single day, he releases a new 3D piece of artwork.
Okay.
And it's pretty talented. It's cool stuff. Like he makes commentary with it and stuff. He's a very talented artist.
Okay. Yeah.
But he put them up for free every day for 13 years. So if you like screenshotted it or right-clicked it and saved it, you have everything he's ever done. But he made a non-fungible token with all of his images on a drive, but you are the official owner. So even though other people can have them and stuff, you are registered as the actual owner of all the things.
Oh.
So like you really don't have something that's just yours, but it is just yours.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically like it's just a way to grab money from rich people.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, to me, it literally does sound exactly like punishing people for being rich and stupid.
Right.
Okay.
It's
checking.
Bitcoin with a face, right? So Bitcoin, you've got nothing that you can really see other than a counter. This is supposed to give you some graphical representation of an item in a blockchain form.
Okay.
Right? So it's a ledger system that's electronic that the world says there's enough of us that agree that this belongs to you, or, and to be fair, not you, but your signature on
Yeah,
you.
right. And if you sell it, here's the only cool part about the stuff. And I think that if they could wrap some of this up with actual artwork and stuff.
Right.
So say like so I think the guy who bought Beeple's paid what, 5.2 million or something. So he paid 5.2 million to own all this stuff, right?
And this isn't just money laundering.
No.
But here's the kind of cool part for the artists.
Okay.
So if that dude turns around and sells it for 7 million,
Okay.
because it's blockchained and stuff, the artist knows who it got sold to, but also gets like a 10% cut of any additional sales from it.
Oh, really?
So like as it keeps being sold, the artist still gets paid for every time it gets sold and stuff. So that is kind of a cool
Okay,
aspect.
that's interesting. So
Yeah.
as it moves down the line, every time it gets handed from one idiot to another idiot, the artist gets 10% of whatever that idiot
Or whatever
paid.
the percentage. I
Whatever
don't know
it is.
the percentage,
Okay.
but something.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It still sounds an awful lot like money laundering.
And there's an instant tracking for the entire lifetime. So like the ledger, like a ledger book,
Right.
but it's the world has a copy of this ledger book. So every time something changes,
Yeah.
right, it's how blockchain works, is that enough of us have to agree that this exchange happened.
And it was legit.
Right? And then once that happens,
Right.
that is known forever. Right? That ledger is infinitely long.
Until somebody writes it away.
Yes.
Until
enough
somebody
people
makes it go away. Right. Yeah, exactly. So here you go. So, all right, guys, look at the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, what you have before you is a 1964 Lambretta TV 200. An original patina. Registration intact. Appears to be on the original tires. Appears to have lived upside down in a garage or a barn for a very long period of time. And we're going to start the bidding at?
It's Europe, right?
It is. It's England.
I'd say they started at 1,500 pounds.
1,500 pounds.
Start.
Do I hear 1,600 pounds? Oh,
No.
fuck this. Do I hear 20,000 pounds?
2,000 euros.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to see it in another view? Oh, there you go. There's the other side. With its completely non-standard bullshit exhaust that was completely not right for that scooter ever, right?
That's really rusted, too.
It's really not great. It's really not a nice bike. It's a 1964. Take a look at how much fucking corrosion is back behind, on that wheel.
Was this in a seaside place?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And the front fender is not even attached where it should be.
And look at the leg shield. Looks like a fucking golf ball.
It looks like it's been attacked by midgets with hammers. Yep. I'm sorry, little people. So this is what this is.
I like where they keep the license plate.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Stuff it in over there.
Just jelly that right in there. So, I mean, this is obviously...
Oh, that'll buff out.
Right. There's one of the world's first disc brakes that ever appeared on a motorcycle. Inboard disc brake. But anyway, so there you have it, guys. Yeah.
$20,000, you said? Or 20,000 pounds?
23,000 pounds.
So that's like...
Including buyer's premium.
Oh, so that's like 30 grand US.
It's over $30,000. That's over $30,000.
Did fucking Pete Townsend own it or something?
I'm going to read you the selling sheet so that you all know exactly what you're dealing or what you're buying here for your 23,000 pounds. Sterling. An extremely rare scooter and recent shed discovery.
No shit.
One of those things is true. Resting peacefully from 1976 until 2021. I'm going to use that term now for everything. Resting peacefully, just like our two sewage workers right down there. Look at that. They're in a sleeping race.
You know what's
They
weird?
both came across the line at the same
They're
time.
worse than a married couple. They fall asleep at the same time.
Which no married
They
couple
woke
ever
up
does
at the
that.
same
Yep.
time. Like, what the fuck, man?
It's exactly right. And then, so it also
It's
says...
a hard life.
It's
Mostly
hard work counting
We had,
turds.
we had Taco Bell today. We had donuts. We had
Oh, man.
lunch. What else did we have?
No wonder you're sleeping.
We had the
lunch.
engineers come. We had the stupid insurance people come. It was
Oh,
like
man.
it cut to our nap time.
Oh, the engineers showed up, so you didn't get your 11 o'clock nap or your 1 o'clock nap? Oh, man, that's
What,
terrible.
like a couple
one
weeks
guy brought
ago,
Reese's
I
Cups.
joined them for lunch. I wrote, I work 5 minutes away, so I went over to the ship plant for lunch. And, it was the last day that the one little dairy twist was open, so we all got snacks.
Yeah.
So John had like a burger, like 3 things of fries and something else, and Steve had something like, we're eating light, though, because we had a big breakfast. Like, oh, okay. You were also sleeping. You were falling asleep, just standing there. He's literally going like, yeah, and then later on I have to...
Oh, man.
And John's CPAP machine's like buzzing the whole time.
Oh, shit.
We talked about having a CPAP machine that it's like being on an airplane where the hoses just fall out.
They
of the
just fall
ceiling.
down the ceiling?
After lunch. Is everybody?
man.
Sometimes we'll get up to like 4 or 5. Like everybody.
Just put the air pressure in the whole room.
What the hell?
Make the room an iron lung.
That would be so nice.
So you don't even have to work hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want a machine that does all my breathing for me.
A nice mix of oxygen and nitrous.
Oh, man.
You're just laying there.
You just lay there.
Breathe for me.
Pictures of Michael Jackson going across the big screen TVs.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so
I'm
this...
back at Dreamland.
I just have to, all I have to say is this piece of shit sold. It shouldn't have sold. There's no reason in the world why this thing sold, and let alone selling for as much money as it did. I don't know why it happened. It's a shit box.
Was it a fluke? Was it just some like random rich guy that was like, oh, I want that?
I can't even figure it out. But it's like
Maybe it was his bike and he was just getting it back.
I have taken a pass on bikes way worse than this, or way better than this.
You know what, though? Like, you're absolutely right, though, because now I'm looking at yours.
Yeah.
And it looks way better
It's
than it did.
way better. I mean, look at that fucking thing. Look at that. That is disgusting. That is a shitbox of the highest order. It is, I don't care if it is a TV 200. It doesn't fucking matter.
But that's not even like you could like linseed oil yours and the patina would come out and it would be nice.
Yeah.
You can't, like, you have to vapor blast that.
You can't get that paint back.
No.
That paint's fucked. And this is one of my favorite quotes from the auction. One of the quotes that they had the balls to write. This is the listing. Remember, this is the information they give potential bidders. The people that are bidding on the fucking thing. It says, engine turns over with compression. I gives a fuck. Honestly, I don't give a shit. That top end's getting replaced no matter what happens. That crank is getting out no matter what. Like, I'm going to try to restore that? Are you fucking kidding me?
If that's what the outside looks like, what is the inside?
A fantastic opportunity to ride or restore. If your options are ride or restore, that means that it currently has to be rideable. Right. It's not a million miles away from rideable. The rims are rusted together, for fuck's sake. Okay. There's not a cable on there that has seen lubrication since the fucking thing was built. Anyway, here's my favorite. We have been advised this machine may have been a dealer special. Okay. Guess what, you guys? I'm a dealer. We do dealer specials all the time. That's where you put the lipstick on the pig, right? A dealer special is just like, hey, that bike didn't sell. And that bike didn't sell. And you take half of the pieces off of that bike and put them on that bike, and now you have two dealer specials. And people buy them fast.
You mean like a scrambled G400C?
Like a scrambled G400C? Or look, I'm not going to lie, you guys, it's documented history. Genuine Scooter Company made pink Stellas.
Oh, yeah.
All pink. All the time. All the Pepto pink your fucking pitiful peepers could fucking tolerate. That avoid alliteration. Purview. Thank you. Avoid alliteration always. So it's that fucking pink color Stella, and they were like, "Yeah, pink Stella." Oh, and we were kind of like, "That's a lot of pink." And so we held back. We got one. So we got one, and everybody came into the shop and went, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" And I was like, "Great." Here you go. Here, just sign right there.
It has a clutch and you have to shift it.
That's exactly right. It has a clutch. It's a two-stroke and you have to shift it. What's shift?
What shift?
What's shift? You have to shift it. Do I have to pick my feet up? Oh shit, you're not going to be ready for shift, clutch, two-stroke, right? If you're still wondering, like, but can I put my teacup poodle in the motherfucker? Like, okay, so we sold exactly 0 of them. 0. Because, again, it was only $2,699 plus tax and title, etc. But it was pinker than fucking pink. I mean, it was dog dick pink, and there was a lot of it. And if they would have made the thing black with a pink stripe on it, then we would have had a chance to sell it to somebody. Yeah. But even for the 4 women in Cleveland that could drive a two-stroke shifter, clutch-operated vintage bike, it was too much pink. Like, they don't want that shit. They don't want that Barbie's fucking dream house reject.
Does it come with a helmet?
Exactly. That one does. Yeah, two fucking helmets. That's not a Stella. That's a Vespa. Vespa did it a year after Stella did because they thought Stella was onto something special. So they did a limited run of pink Vespas, which turns out they didn't wait for the results from the Stella test to come in before they jumped into the situation and realized they both had herpes. Yeah. They were both fucked. And so what we did at the shop was we waited, as we are prone to do around here. And a year later, when Genuine went, we may have had a problem. What's your problem? We got about 400 of these pink scooters. Oh, you do? You do? Oh, you got 400 of them, huh? Yeah, and they're all marked 2006. Oh, well, the calendar tells me it's 2008.
Yeah.
Boy, I bet you that's stressful. Yeah, so if you'll buy a bunch of them, you never saw such a deal. And I'm like, bring it on, buddy. Yeah. Okay, Pedro, I'm listening. And they did. And they gave us a crazy deal on buying 6 of them. So I bought 6 of them, but they also had a deal on the other color they couldn't sell, which was black. Because the all black, shiny black ones, you can't tell it's a Stella.
Right.
It's just a place where light went to die, right? There's no curves. There's no sexiness to it. It's just,
Oh, so you did the.
So I bought 6 black ones and I bought 6 pink ones. And we didn't even prep them until we'd already done the good and plenty mix on them.
Yeah.
So we had two-toned pink with black and black with pink. And they actually looked really fucking good.
Yeah.
Because you could see the curves now. And 2 old white men who remember cars like the 1955 Crown Vic.
Sure.
They came in pink and black, you know, and it wasn't gay. It was just pink and black.
Right.
And so we had 12 customs. You know, we had a bunch of these things that were customs. And then we would only bring one out at a time.
Sure.
Dealer special.
Yeah, because you can't have that guy going, well, could you put that on that? And maybe I'll buy it, because then you're stuck with one of them.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, we sold them down, and we sold them down pretty fucking quickly.
Nice.
But that's how you do a dealer special, is when you have 2 bikes that don't sell, you make it into 2 bikes that do sell by moving the panels around. Orange Stellas, hard time selling them. Baby blue Stellas, same problem with the pink, men didn't buy them. You put the orange and the blue together, you know what you got? Golf racing livery.
Yep.
Stick a golf sticker on it, boom, gone off the showroom floor.
Them, yeah.
Exactly. Now all of a sudden that baby blue's not so Camaro. You know, it's totally buyable. That's exactly it. So that's that deal. It may be a dealer special. Fuck you. I don't care. H&H Auction Company in the UK, however you pulled 23,000 pounds out of some person, some human being that draws breath on a TV200. Now, for the audience that's sitting at home going, well, the TV200s must be really, really rare. I've owned 4 of them. They're not that rare.
This reminds me of every marketplace ad from West Virginia.
Oh,
they all
I know what
look
I got.
Yeah. It's been in the yard for 20 years, but don't try to come with me without the right money, because I know what I got.
Right, and that's exactly what it comes down to, is some guy sitting on something that he believes. And so would anyone... So here's the game, since we're playing the game. That really, really rare scooter, how many do you think they made? Anyone care to throw a guess that hasn't read the sheet already or hasn't read the screen?
20,000.
14,982.
Close enough.
That's not that fucking rare.
No.
14,982 of something from 1963 to 1965. That's fucking 5,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know, that's 5,063, 5,064, and 5,065.
And that's in Europe.
Yeah.
It's not even here.
No.
So,
here, I've had 3 of them here.
right.
Fuck, man. They're not that rare.
No.
So $23,000. And that's what's going on right now in the market. Market's fucking
You know what's
goofballs.
more rare?
It's more rare.
Seeing somebody from that auction that has all their teeth.
Yeah, well, I mean, are you know, that was a British joke? Oh, I thought that was just like a fucking, like, only an idiot would buy. Right.
No.
Look, every year I have less and less of my teeth.
I know, me too.
Every year my teeth keep escaping my head, right? I went into a dentist like to have some stuff done that needed to be done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and while you're in there, can you put a tooth where there used to be a tooth and I'm missing one on the side of my
Did
mouth?
they tell you how much it would be?
I don't care.
No, you don't? Cause
I don't give a shit.
The reason I don't have a tooth
Right.
over here is because
Yeah.
they told me it's
might
like
have watched
$3,800 for
Yeah.
a tooth. And I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't need a tooth.
I don't need a tooth that bad.
Scenarios we
It's
were
like 3 motorcycles.
I know. I'm already married.
Yeah. Right. What's she gonna do? Get rid of you toothless bastard?
Right.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So 23 grand is just out of fucking control. There's no excuse for that shit. And everything's crazy expensive right now. There's no doubt about it. It's goofy.
Do you guys want to know how little motorcycle manufacturers think that the people buying their bikes know about motorcycles?
Oh, I'm dying to know.
So Kawasaki has a recall on the W800s right now.
What?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's a bike that's been around for fucking ever, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Up to 565 bikes have been affected.
Whoa. Hold on. That number makes no sense because
They're estimating around 565 bikes on the production line.
But that's like a day's worth of production.
Right.
That's a super small number of productions.
Right. That's because Jim was having a bad day that day.
Oh, boy.
Do you know why they're doing the recall? Can you guess?
Wait, you should have Chris tell the punchline to this one.
There's no punchline. This is honest to God truth.
This is a real story.
This is a real story, real deal.
So a Kawasaki W800 that has been made for about 1 million years,
Yep.
right? There's no, W800, we all know it. It's been...
They couldn't put out a service bulletin just announcing this because they don't trust the people that bought the bikes enough.
Okay.
The reason that they recalled it is one of the muffler bolts might be loose.
Might be loose.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
So basically, it's a recall. They can't just say, like, hey, check your muffler bolts.
Right.
Because they can't trust somebody to take a 10 mil wrench and tighten their fucking muffler bolts.
Yeah.
Well,
I will tell you how bad it gets. Benelli, they had to do a recall here in the United States on some of the Benelli motorcycles. Big problem with these fucking Benelli bikes. I'm telling you, if you're riding one right now, pay attention to what I'm about to say.
I'm nervous.
On your Benelli motorcycle, you can inspect for this problem yourself. If you look at your master cylinder, where your right-hand brake operates, if you look at the cover on your master cylinder, it may not be in enough languages.
Oh, I noticed that. I was stumped. I didn't know what to do. I was looking down at my 135, and I was like, oh, my God, I have no idea what to do with this.
So, literally, Benelli had a recall where they told dealers, stop. Take all your bikes off the floor. You're not allowed to sell any Benellis. You have to stop selling Benellis. And any customers in the field that have Benellis, you have to call them immediately. You have to get them to come back in the store because their motorcycles don't have the words on the master cylinder cover in enough languages.
Right. Do you remember?
Okay, now I'm going to tell you what's printed that you need a translator for. You guys ready? Get out your Babelfish. Get out your Rosetta Stone.
.4?
Use only .3 or 4 fluid only from a approved sealed container. Now, .3 is the same .3 in every language. I think Chinese too. Mm-hmm. And .4, I think, is also universal like Kodak. It's probably the same in all languages. The rest you can infer. Because it doesn't say like, it's not like question, I wonder what this says, .3, .4, wonder what this says. It doesn't say, you know, before you can use your brakes, you must shoot .3 or .4 up your ass. Like there's no important thing like eat your fucking Ovaltine encoded in the top of every goddamn master cylinder for every fucking Benelli. It's literally just says only use .3 or 4 from sealed container. Right.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember when BMW had the recall because when the travel boxes or the panniers were on the back of the new GS 1250s?
Yeah.
It covered the reflectors.
Right. You couldn't see the reflectors.
Yeah. So
that was true.
they stopped all sales.
Yeah.
People that were like planning trips, they were not allowed for a month.
Park your bike.
For a month. Wow. They couldn't sell the bikes. Even if you paid cash and you went to go pick it up
Park
and
your
it was
bike.
there,
it's illegal.
They couldn't hand it to you. So then they had to wait for them to come out with red stickers to put on the boxes.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
No, I swear to God.
Oh no, it's a real thing. Yeah. It's a real thing. They literally sent dealers a whole bunch of stickies, a whole bunch of stickers, reflector stickers that you had to put on. Yep. That's a recall. Yep. We had a recall that there wasn't a sticker. There was a certain bike that we sold that didn't have the right sticker on it. And they wanted us to cease fire, freeze, not sell any more bikes because they had to wait until they sent us this special safety sticker or something.
Do not start underwater.
On the flip side, we've got cars that catch fire on the highway and they won't recall them.
Right.
No fucking sticker.
The wrong sticker. The wrong stickers on your bike. Now, this did happen. It turns out this. I had to go back into the Wayback Machine for this. But there was really an actual recall for W800s. If you had a W800 from 2011 to 2015, I don't know how many Americans that were because we didn't get a lot of them then. But they did have a straight up legit. So there was improper routing of the electrical wires under the fuel tank that may cause the power lines to come in contact with the frame edge, which could fray the wires. In addition, on certain models, the throttle body holder may harden because of insufficient heat resistance. It's not good to have a hard throttle body holder. So your intake boot got a little too tough, and then
you can't have one all the time.
Right, you can't. If it lasts more than 4 hours, call a doctor.
Go to your mechanic.
Go to your mechanic. If your fuel injector holder stays hard for more than 4 hours, you may want to see a mechanic.
Well, sometimes if you use the StarTron, what do you call it?
What's that?
If you use what a fucking Viagra, so StarTron.
Right, yeah,
Viagra,
special, right, exactly. The special Viagra, the lemonade. Yeah. So anyway, there were two problems. One is your intake might get too hard, and the other is there are some wires under the gas tank that might come in contact with the frame edge. Now, wiring problems under a gas tank, that's always one of those things that sounds really bad. Yeah. But people that work around motorcycles a long time will let you know that there's also 4 angry spark plugs right under there. Right. There's all kinds of really dangerous shit within inches of 5 gallons of gas.
Yeah, your coils, all that.
All kinds of shit. Yeah. Like, you are literally having two 50,000 volt coils
Fire.
to the frame that are holding the gas tank. Like the gas tank's over. And because on our big old, Japanese motorcycles, we would take the gas tank on and off 100 times, troubleshooting one problem, and realize every single time you do that, this big heavy metal gas tank is grinding up against these metal coil or these plastic coils. Yeah, it's just not. It's literally. It's just weird science that we haven't all just blown ourselves to shit. Constantly. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad news. But anyway, so that's it. So there's your recall alert. Your not too recent recall alert. Had a guy come in today on a very proud of his purchase. He got a 2000 and I'm gonna get this right. 2005. Yeah, 2005 Bergman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I bought it for $2,800.
$450 or $650?
$650. $2,800.
Well done.
Happiest guy in the world. Mm-hmm. No, sorry, the bike was 2009. It was 2009. So 2009, 13 years old. Brought in this big ass Bergman 650. Very, very proud of himself. Very happy. Both tires on the bike were exactly from 2008. Hey! The bike had 13,000 miles on it, so the back tire was through the cord. I'd never seen a tire go through the cords, but he was straight up through the cords.
Oh, it's back to rubber?
It was back to the liner. Right. So he'd gotten through the cords and he was back to the rubber liner. The cords were, they were hairy. They were like literally burned through the cords. He crashed it getting it over here. Yay.
Slit, really?
The center stand and side stand were rusted solid. Neither of them would function. So you couldn't, when he showed up, he's out in the parking lot and he's like, I got to lean it against something. I'm like, why the fuck do you got to lean it against something? He's like, well, the stand doesn't come down or whatever. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? The stand doesn't come down. So I was like, you look in our parking lot, there's nothing to lean it on except other motorcycles, right? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to lean the bike over and see what the hell fuck's going on. His center stand and his side stand had looked like they were under salt water for 20 years. Like they were one fused piece. The shock absorbers, which on the Bergman are chrome.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. Yeah. Rust the whole way top to bottom. And I'm like, I'm going to say this as nicely as I possibly can because we have a rule at the shop that we will generally, anything that's under 15 years old, we're going to work on. Not this. And I was like, we're making an exception to our 15-year policy for you. We're not working on this. Oh, man, but I just need a tire in the worst way. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. But the 6 fasteners I'm going to have to take off to get your tire off
and break most
are
of them?
all going to break.
Yeah.
There is not a chance one thing is going to come off this bike without a torch or being broken when we try to take it off.
Right.
I've never seen a bike so fucking corroded. And I just told the guy, I was like, man, I hate to do this to you, but you didn't explain to me on the phone that this bike, like the last titled owner, was Poseidon. This thing is straight up.
It probably came from New Orleans.
I was joking. I was like, oh, does it come from Atlanta?
Yeah.
Atlantis. I'm like, it's fucked. It's the most rusty bike I've ever seen. And of course, because it's a Bergman, the top of it's all shiny because it's plastic. It's all plastic. He's like, it runs okay. It kind of runs okay. I was like, he goes, I think the belt's slipping a little bit. I'm like, smallest of your problems. Absolutely the smallest of your problems.
I still want to know who at Suzuki was like, we should name a scooter for good sales.
Bergman.
I mean, it's just not.
You know what? There's nothing wrong.
There's Earl Bergman in the advertising department.
He thinks it's a very, very good name. Yeah. What the fuck does Bergman mean? Right? There's no. I know a lot of motorcycles get really interesting names and stuff like that. It's cool.
They would have done better with the Hindenburgman.
Well, so there's
German for townie.
Well, it is actually. So the Bergman with 2 N's on the end of it, Bergman, that would have been Burke, which would have been a fortified town, a town with a wall around it.
Okay.
Right? A Burke. So, but a castle kind of thing. But that's not where it comes from. I mean, I looked it up under Ancestry.com, and it's just like, it's an ambiguation of a German name that is Bergman, And it is funny
Clyde,
that
Stan, what was his name?
Earl. Well, you're fucking laughing, but that shit is straight up because look at the map, and I'm going to tell you where people Bergmans come from. Where do the Bergmans come from? Here. Here. The most Bergman families were found in the USA in 1880 in Ohio, right?
Well done.
Come on. So, that tells you who their target audience was.
Surrounded by the pink states of America.
Very, very, very friendly right there. That whole part of America is very fabulous, according to that chart. But it is really funny that that's like the Bergman had a name that apparently the heaviest concentration of Bergmans in the United States was in Ohio. So anyway, yeah, I love that. This was 100% of all the recorded Bergmans in the United States. Ohio had the highest population of Bergman families in 1840. It's pretty funny. Anyway, so it's just bad naming strategies for motorcycles, part 101.
Sorry about that.
What?
Fell asleep and started snoring, groaning.
Today,
He's having a sexy dream.
Today he was talking in his sleep. He was like, I don't owe you $20. You owe me $20.
He was talking to KROMPKE.
He was talking to me. I was like, oh.
That's better. The last time I heard him, he was like, I swear I won't tell anybody.
No, so I fell asleep at work. I had this dream. I was at Cleveland State. I was on a wheelchair, electric wheelchair, jumping things.
Oh, what?
And the wheels fell off. So then I'm trying to get the wheels back on this wheelchair, and then this guy's riding around me on this electric bike, and I'm like, hey, that's my electric bike. But I was on this wheelchair. Then he's like, no, it's my electric bike. Then this woman dressed in black steals all the money out of the wheelchair and starts running, and I jump out, like I tackle her, and I jump right on her chest, and she opens her mouth, and her teeth are black. I mean, they're not like decayed.
You remember more of this dream than I have remembered any dream I've ever had in my life.
And then she says, I'll give you your money back as long as you buy dillweed from my dad.
Dillweed? What the shit?
And like, how do you have a dream like that?
How do you know I love dillweed?
This is what happens when you spend your life in a shit plant.
This is exactly what
the fumes. It's the fumes.
Yeah, I was about to say, this proves that Jankum is real.
Oh
You're out
my
there.
God.
He goes right to the source. He's just like, just getting down with the fucking shit tank.
Oh my God. That's so fucking crazy, man.
No, I didn't drink coffee today. That's the problem.
Is that the deal? Is that what it is?
You know, there was some podcast was talking about that most people for the last 100 years have no idea what a baseline of not being on any drugs is.
Oh, interesting.
Because most people drink coffee
Yeah,
every
right.
morning and take so
And
like you don't
Coca-Cola
even
or
know
whatever,
what
yeah,
your
yeah.
baseline
Sugar.
sugar, all this stuff.
Yep. So one of our podcast listeners has told me that we have a mascot. Bear with me. And apparently we had a mascot. We didn't even know it. And we were joking, like, back in the old Dustin Elliott days, we'd be like, squirrel. That's clearly our mascot. And I did not know this, but we have a Japanese listener who says that our mascot should be a Tanuki. Does anybody know what a Tanuki is?
No, but I think I like it already.
Okay, the Tanuki. So the Tanuki is a Japanese raccoon dog.
Oh man, I'm in 100%.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right. And so the whole thing is,
I've heard of a rakunk. There was a story.
Rakunk. I just have my new favorite thing to call somebody is a rakunk. You're a fucking rakunk. So anyway, so the Japanese raccoon dog, right, is a Tanuki, right? Tanuki. So that apparently is our. So the legendary Tanuki is reputed to be mischievous and jolly, a master of disguise and shape-shifting, but somewhat gullible and absent-minded. It is also a common theme in Japanese art. And so this is the Japanese raccoon dog is mainly nocturnal. You guys used to be. But they vocalize by growling or with groans that have pitches resembling those of domesticated cats. It arches its back when it's trying to intimidate other animals. And they do lower their bodies and their bellies to show that they're submitting. Yeah. And so I just absolutely love this fucking thing. I mean, I am 100% in love with this. And so there are these Tanukis, these fetish animals all over Japan. And I'm going to say, I don't hate it.
Are they pets?
No. They're pets just like raccoons are pets, right? Certain people have done it, but Anyway, that's what they
like
are.
Bears.
They
like
look
a bear
like
raccoon,
they look
though.
like the best thing. It's a raccoon dog. Yeah, right.
Did
More
Mario
listener
have an
mail.
outfit like this
more-
in one of their games?
Okay, so anyway, give me a second of that. But anyway, so while I was having fun with the this whole thing,
It's
and
so
just,
cute, but it looks like it would chew a finger off. In a
it does.
second.
It looks like a combination between a Wolverine and a raccoon.
Wait, go back. Was that his ball sack on the floor? Like seriously?
No, I don't have to go back. All right.
So that's
I don't have to, but I'm willing
So now
to.
I'm thinking why this might be our spirit animal, right? is I've noticed something about every artistic representation that I have ever seen of a Tanuki has one thing in common. Well, two things in common, right? Every artist representation that I have seen of a Tanuki seems to focus on one or two particular parts of the animal.
Look at even the cartoon over there.
Even a fucking art, like a drawn piece of art.
Large testicles.
It says large testicles for
Small
financial
penis,
luck and
Small
fertility.
penis, large testicles.
This is a real Tanuki versus Carl's Tanuki. Like the anatomy of a Tanuki. I am completely fucking in love with our new spirit animal.
Oh, there will be things on videos from now on.
Oh, there is nothing that I don't love about the Tanuki. The Tanuki has got my vote for being the perfect Cleveland Moto.
The Kanuki tea bag.
The Tanuki The Tanuki is just, it is absolutely, and apparently there's Tanuki cosplay, right?
You got to
There-
have
yeah.
the Tanuki finishing move.
The
Tanuki!
It's the Belgian dip. Yeah. Look at this impressive bastard. Look at that magnificent motherfucker. It's just like it's like a raccoon had sex with a Buddha. Yeah. And this is the one I just called John. That's the one I just called John. That's just John right there. John the Tanuki right there, just enjoying his goddamn self. Yeah. I am completely in love with this fucking animal. So yeah, so we now have our Tanuki is our new official spirit animal of the Cleveland Moto podcast is the Tanuki. Yeah, I did find it was also one of the patron saints of entertainers and bartenders, which I thought was interesting. This one we might have to call this one Johnny Chrome. There you go. That's Johnny Chrome. Yeah, that one's Johnny Chrome, just hanging out, just enjoying himself, kind of just being one with the world there. But yeah, so Tanuki, we're on, man.
Sometimes the patron saint of bartenders too, and you can
Right, so
see you can
Pirate.
see some resemblance.
Yeah, the pirate, like the Buddha, the Hoti, right? The Hoti on the pirate rum, that Zen patron saint and protector of fortune tellers, and that's Zen, so that's Buddhism, and this is Japanese. It's very, very interesting. So I got a big kick out of it. So
We
that
are
was
a
it.
multicultural podcast.
Oh, we're all over the goddamn place. That's exactly right. Yeah, bring me your fucking Nordic fucking rune animal. We'll see which one we identify with. Right, I don't care. Throw some fucking rocks in a pit. We'll see who we identify with. Yep, and we'll fucking join your stones or whatever the hell we have to do. Yeah.
At least you didn't send like the
This one
the
is a weird
blobfish or
there's a
something.
weird artistic impression going on with this one I don't understand.
Whoa.
That's elephant Tanuki. That's elephant Tanuki of the Tanusticles.
He's got lymph node problems.
He's
Jared.
got a lymph node problem. That's right. He may have to go see a doctor. I thought that was just a fucking just a giant thing for us, for our Tanuki. So that's badass. So thank you, listener. So you'd throw me. So somebody handed me a phone.
Yeah, hold on. Just hit the button and swipe up.
Go ahead. Yeah, I don't want to swipe anything on your phone, Steve. Don't.
So this is listener mail for you.
I'm honestly surprised right now my hand's not wearing 3 condoms. Hey, Unkie Phil, just found your channel and very much enjoying the stories and tips that you shared that I've seen. I'm a cancer survivor, bit by the scooter bug this year, and I'm absolutely hooked. After putting about 2,000 miles on my first scooter, the Leafon KP Mini 150. Leafon KP Mini 150. Curious? Let's do it. Let's just fucking do it. We're here, right? Okay, let's find out what this is. We need to find out. Just graphic training is Leafon KP Mini 150. Boy, you know they stressed.
Oh, that's the Grom thing.
They stressed the Mini.
Yeah, it's the Grom looking thing.
Oh, I can't. Is that what it is? Yeah, it's a Grom. It's a Grim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Grim. All right. So it's a Grim.
But it's supposed. I mean, it's like it's a 70-mile-an-hour. It's more like a TNT.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Kick ass. I thought it was a scooter, so that's why I got thrown.
Yeah, me too.
Curious if you have any experience with these or possibly have a recommendation. I think you just heard it on how many miles you should have before having the valves checked. Oh, all the time. Just always be checking the valves.
It's Chinese.
It's Chinese, dude. Here's the rule. If you want to embrace that whole, like, look at how much motorcycle I got for this much money. Yep. Take all the money you saved and invest it in valves. Well, the adjusting of those valves. Like, if you're not sure, if it's a day that has a Y at the end of it, adjust your valves. Right.
As soon as they get quiet, sell
as soon as they get quiet, well, that's right.
So there's a couple guys I know that they buy the Grims.
Right.
They ride them for 1,500 miles,
right.
Sell them for $100 less than they paid for them, and then just get a new one.
And buy another one, right? You never have to worry about the valves. All right. So he says, recommendation on how many miles you should have before having the valves checked on something small like that. No, it's just the Chinesiness of it. It's just like we've discovered, and one of our friends, Tom Pennington down in New Orleans, has a lot of experience working on the Chinese bikes, and they're like, yeah, just trust me, valves. Keep the stories coming, and hopefully someday I'll get the chance to meet you in person. Any scooter rallies in southern Michigan that you might recommend? God bless, ride fast and take chances. Right on, Shane Weisskopf. Very cool. The 100% southern Michigan, Detroit, dude. Detroit. It's Detroit. Detroit always has some shit going on. The Detroit Scooter Club, they have a scooter club called the Rovers. Now, they're not actually in Detroit. I think they're in the suburb of Royal Oak, because I believe the name, the Detroit Rovers, is actually an acronym for, I'm going to get this right, Royal Oak Vintage Enthusiasts Riding Scooters.
Oh.
It's like SHIELD. They had to work really hard for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, does anybody know what the SHIELD acronym is? Strategic Homeland Initiative. Shit. Yeah, I don't. The acronym for SHIELD is one of those ones that, as they say, if you're a nerd, the SHIELD acronym is one of those things they've really had to fucking work for. No, exactly. He's nerd adjacent.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now I know that. Right now I know that there are nerds out there yelling at their fucking radio, and it makes me really happy. God damn it, it stands for Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division, you fucking plebe. That's what it stands for. Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division. It's real.
I like the idea of them yelling at their radio.
Yep, exactly. Oh, man, I was listening to a podcast.
Space Force can be real, that can be real.
Oh, man. Yeah, right?
We need a Space Force.
Man.
They're launching
No, you don't.
Hyperbaric missiles at everybody.
That doesn't go into space. They stay in the atmosphere.
Whatever they are.
He's back in the iron lung again. Right. Oh, shit, he's back in the iron lung.
I know, I just said that.
Oh, my God. And in your case, they're launching hyperbolic missiles.
Well, let's look at the definition of hypersonic. That would be faster than the speed of sound, right?
Yes. Many missiles are hypersonic.
But it doesn't. But they don't
realize an IBM.
No, but they don't. Go
an ICBM.
ICBM goes into outer space and re-enters at well past the speed.
Well past.
The difference is that these just go up and come down, and then they hug the Earth. They stay within the atmosphere.
But the whole idea is,
I'm sure there is a nuance to that.
The difference between a non-hypersonic missile and a hypersonic missile is that one gets to you 17 and a half minutes earlier. Mm-hmm. That's it. You're done. Yeah, that's
either way.
It's the same thing. The second one of them gets launched, all of ours get launched. And then we have problems that are too big to solve with math, right? So it doesn't matter whether your missile is hypersonic, subsonic, or aquatic. It doesn't fucking matter if it's a fucking... nuclear tipped albatross.
Yeah, I read a whole article about this.
The second anybody fires anything that resembles something intercontinentally and ballistic-y or missile-y, then we are going to do what we do best, which is like use all the shit we've been paying for since World War II. And all the roofs are going to pop off of all the fucking things that are hiding in Granny's cornfield.
It's the same old problem.
Yes.
You can nuke me. Yes. Even if I don't nuke you back, you're still fucked because of a nuclear winter.
Right.
And because of the tides, all the prevailing winds,
right. The rule
eventually the radiation is going to go
nukes
all the way around the world.
And my nukes don't matter because eventually they're all our nukes. Right. They may start out as being John's nukes.
We may not understand that we all live on one planet now.
Well,
But
that's
you
the
will.
thing, though. Are we sure that they haven't populated another planet already? Like,
As soon as
I
they
don't
do,
know. Is this just winter or is this nuclear winter? I need to know how to dress.
it doesn't matter because then you're all Fukushima.
Exactly.
Well, it's not even that, right? I mean, look at Chernobyl, right? And all of a sudden the UK is like, hey, what the fuck? Like, this happened down there. And we're getting
Exactly.
affected and within a month and a half.
My ex-wife had to go back to Germany for cancer treatment on her back because she lived on the same continent with Chernobyl. You know, what the fuck? I mean, that's like, come on, people. Yep. If you think for a second that hypersonic missiles are going to mean one fucking bit of anything to anybody, it's just hilarious because it's just like, well, you know, okay, well, that means that one's going to get an extra 226 miles before we
Sure,
detect
they're
it.
difficult to shoot down. Yeah. And so are ICBMs.
right?
Like, you could shoot one, if it was a one-on-one,
Right,
if one
right,
ICBM was
right,
coming here, you
right.
might be able to shoot it down.
Right. Yeah. But
As soon as you launch 50 of them,
I was going to say, I don't
there's
even
nothing
think
that can stop.
Isn't it just like certain things in the world? It's like nobody can eat just one Lay's potato chip. That's what the marketing says. I don't think there's an option for just shoot one missile. Fire one across their bow. Yeah, just one thing.
It would be interesting if it could actually play out this way. Well, China just launched one missile at Washington, D.C. Okay.
Everybody
Would they
cheers.
really though?
Everybody
Would they?
cheers.
Okay.
I think it'd be more fun if they said
We're going to
they
launch
just
one missile
launched
back at them.
One missile. I think it's just they just launched a missile. One missile. One missile. Just one missile. Where's it going? Butte, Montana.
Yeah, Topeka.
Ooh, how are we going to react?
Right.
quick,
I mean,
seal Montana.
Where's it headed towards? It's headed towards Ann Arbor, Michigan. Well, that's a blue town. So Yep. Well, they did vote for. They do back the wrong sports team. So, I think that one just got through. I don't know. I'm just saying. Let's see what they do next. I'm feeling jaunty. Yeah. I don't know. And if you live in Ann Arbor, I'm just envious of you. Everybody in Michigan hates everybody in Ohio. It's a rule. Yeah. Yep. So that's that. Anybody got a joke?
You want to hear a joke?
I want to hear a joke. I totally want to hear a joke.
One day, a Scotsman who's been stranded on a desert island for over 10 long years sees an unusual speck on the horizon. It's certainly not a ship, he thinks to himself. As the speck gets closer and closer, he begins to rule out the possibilities of a small boat, then even a raft. Suddenly emerging from the surf is a drop-dead, gorgeous blonde woman wearing a wetsuit and scuba gear. As she approaches the stunned man
Her name is Honey Ryder.
and says to him, "Tell me, how long has it been since you've had a cigarette?" 10 years, replies the Scotsman. With that, she reaches over, unzips a waterproof pocket on her sleeve, and pulls out a pack of fresh cigarettes. He takes one, lights it, takes a long drag, and says, "Oh, in the name of the wee man, that is good." Then she says, "How long has it been since you've had a sip of good scotch?" Trembling, the castaway replies, 10 years. She reaches over, unzips her right sleeve, and pulls out a flask and hands it to him. He opens the flask, takes a long swig, and says, "'Tis absolutely fantastic." At that point, she starts to slowly unzip her long zipper that runs down the front of her wetsuit and looks at the man and asks, "How long has it been since you've played around?" With tears in his eyes, the man falls to his knees and sobs, "Oh, sweet Jesus. Don't tell me you've got golf clubs in there, too."
Oh, that's hilarious. That's a riot. Damn, man. Thank you, Chris. We desperately needed that. That's pretty good.
Brought us back from the brink.
You did bring us back. You did bring us back. Absolutely. So do you know that we have a podcast listener who's actually a Patreon? And I'm not joking when I tell you that he has a very interesting name. It has got to be made up. It's got to be fake. There's no way that it can be real. It cannot be a real name.
Hermie Merbler?
No.
Schlermy Beckerman.
No.
Just asking.
John Bonesteel.
Oh, that's a great name.
So John Bonesteel is one of our Patreons, and John Bonesteel, he was recently he's asking us some questions on the Patreons about some what bikes he might be interested in, stuff like that. And he's the guy that said he's got this R65 that he's had for a long time. He's turning 60 next week.
Oh,
all right.
Congratulations.
So there you go. And he's been riding in with a group in northern New Jersey, and he's got a Vespa GTS for popping around town and that kind of stuff. And all that good stuff. But he's considering getting a newer bike than his R65. And so he asked, he's like, do you think that an F750 GS is a good bike? And I'm like, fuck yeah, man. I mean, yeah, especially if you already like BMWs, there's nothing wrong with that thing. And it's going to run circles around an old 70s R65. You're going to be super happy with that. And you won't be hitting weird things with those protruding cylinders. So, you can lean her over and not, hit stuff. It's a great idea, and it's super cool. And I told him just that, and he goes, and he's also been looking at the Moto Guzzi after listening to us. And he said he was riding around today, had a brisk ride around Vernon, New Jersey. But yeah, a Moto Guzzi is just a BMW with
with the flaps up.
I was going to say, it's just a BMW without saggy tits. It's just a perky. It's a perky BMW. That's all it is. That's all a Moto Guzzi is. It's a perky BMW. It's like a young teenage BMW.
Yeah, look at that one with those jugs.
Yeah. Anti-gravity jugs. Yeah. Yeah. And the heads stick right up the ceiling. That's it. So, but anyway, his name is John Bonesteel. I can't make that shit up. Bonesteel. Rock on. So rock on, John Bonesteel. And then in other news,
rock on, John Bonesteel.
Yeah, right.
Make your bike run.
My name is Bonesteel. Yeah, that's a good. I like that. But we also had. I forgot that people could even do this, but apparently, one of our podcast listeners increased his Patreon amount from $10 to $20. Okay, I thought when you got in for a penny, you were in for a pound, but apparently somebody thought we needed more support, so they changed their Patreon from $10 to $20.
I'm not blowing the guy this time. It's your turn.
His last name's Minikowski, so I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Okay,
right? Yeah, they're not known for being big in the trousers. So, but that's the deal. So yeah, it's very fucking cool. That was badass. Yeah. And then
thanks, guy.
Well, yeah, and Dave King was nice enough to say that he digs it when we talk about vans and shit. Like, so it turns out like he's a van enthusiast. I don't know if you guys are aware of this.
Okay.
But outside of like clowns and pedophiles, there are some human beings that like vans, and they call themselves 2%ers.
Yep.
Which I think is a riot because they're like 1%ers of the outlaw motorcycle people. Right. So, 4 wheels and everything else.
2% partiers or whatever.
2%, right? 2%
vandemonium.
2% vanders.
Does that include the 1%ers? Or is it like 2% minus the 1%ers because they're already up there?
I have no idea.
Does that mean they're like the 97%ers?
I was joking.
3%?
I wanted to have a patch that said 99%er because
I think it's 1 minus 2%.
There's
over 90%.
There's a great fucking documentary made in the late 70s about this van.
Yeah, about the van cultures, the 2% van culture.
It's terrible, but it's amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. And I've been to a few van-ins. I've been,
Kevin and those guys,
the Nationals,
with the green fuzz. And
they love that.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny. So he says he just got a 95 Chevy G20. Now, for the record, in case you're a van spotter, the G20 is the one that's always made into conversion vans, and it's got the double headlights on both sides, the two square headlights on both sides. And but anyway, he got a 98% operable 95 G20. So he's a 2% vanner because he's got 98% operable van. Yeah. That's great. I think at any moment, most of my vehicles are only 98% operable. Yeah. So he's got one. He picked it up for $1,700.
Can't beat it.
Yeah. No shit. Better than the guy that got a $2,800 Bergman. He's winning. He's fucking winning.
Takes up about the same amount of space in the garage, too. Right?
Yeah. He says he's armed with a Haynes manual and an appropriate hour to beverage ratio.
Oh.
He says he can drive it forever. Oh, yeah. He's like, you're right. The appropriate hour to beverage ratio.
I've been all around the hood of my G30, which is what my RV is.
RV is, yeah.
So I know a little bit about
basically the same thing. Yeah. Just it's like in the world of Econolines, you have E150, E250, E350, and it's G20, G30, etc. It translates the same and
same doghouse.
The same. Yeah, you're literally in the doghouse. Yeah, you could be in the
Important
doghouse.
question is, what length of shag is he going to run?
Yeah, that's an important question when you're talking about those fucking things. That's for real. So yeah, that's definitely something you want to be aware of. So
Is he going to paint free shoes on the side of it and cruise for ladies?
Cruise for ladies. I've had a lot of vans. I've owned quite a few vans. I've had some boogie vans. I've had some normal vans. I've had vans get stolen because they were just too cool. And it's a hard thing when you identify with a van and you make it something you love and some bastard fucking steals it. Yeah,
It's a hard van life.
it is a hard van life. Yeah, it's
Down by the river.
It's a hard van.
my green van was called Bradley Van Stabbin'. And if your van's called Bradley Van Stabbin', that's a fucking cool name for a van, man. You know?
When you opened the back, did it smell like success?
Got the first half right. That's it. You're halfway there.
Smelled like bleach and old pennies.
It's sad.
Yeah, one of our friends came up with the name. Like we were having a name my van contest, and we were having the name my van contest. And one of our friends, she goes, and she worked on it for a while, and she goes, Bradley Van Stabbin'. I was like, bing. I was like, yep, you win. That's it. That is officially the official name of that van.
At that point, was your car boot too hard to be?
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah. And then the one that we had stolen was called Black Betty.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah, I
Black
remember
Betty.
that
Yeah.
Bambalam.
Yeah, van on the lamb. Yeah, that was it. That was that one. But yeah, always for scooter haulers. Yeah, I always have my fucking eyes open for another scooter hauler. And when I say scooter hauler, I mean motorcycles, scooters, the whole thing. Basically, it's a place to go and hide when it rains, and a place to when you're going cross country, you can have your bikes in the back, and nobody's going to steal them.
Or get wet.
Right. I mean, the wet part's not so much a big deal, but when we travel around, I got a whole grip of BB guns and shit I don't want to get stolen.
Right.
I got all kinds of valuable things I don't want to disappear. My liquor alone is worth thousands.
But if you do travel in the winter, leave up from up here in the winter.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a van because then your shit isn't all covered in salt and yuck and.
When a van is not moving, it's a shed. Right? You have room to hide 2 motorcycles from your wife.
Yeah.
If you have a van and you just park it, the first car in your driveway, right? And you can hide 2 motorcycles nobody knows you even have all winter long. And it's just cool. And it's like in the springtime, then free motorcycles. Yeah, it's the coolest thing in the fucking world. You could have a bunch of vans in your backyard and tell your wife that you're going to fix them all.
Oh,
But all they are is just sheds
you
for
could do?
hidden motorcycles.
If you had a van, you
Yeah.
could be driving down the street and see a scooter next to some dumpsters.
Hey, you know what? If you drive around in an empty van, because I've done it a lot,
Yeah.
you can be like, you look at the world a different way. Everything is just potentially stealable, right? If you drive a van, look, when I come into work on Tuesday morning, I have to drive through Avon Lakes, US, Route 6. That's Lake Road. And so on the left-hand side of the road are $1 million houses. And on the right side of the road are $10 million houses, right? So when you drive down that road on garbage day, you can never have a big enough pickup truck.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, it's just like brand new gas grills because they couldn't figure out how to hook it up. It's
The electric start.
yeah, the electric start quit
Propane
working.
tank was empty, so they got a new one.
Well, no, it's the same thing by me. I have University Heights and all that. That's how I got my snowblower.
Of course, yeah.
The guy didn't use it for brand new, never started. He's like, it doesn't work.
It doesn't start. It doesn't work. Yeah. I got 4 fucking lawn umbrellas this year. I swear they were never opened. They're brand new. They're gorgeous. Big ass fucking umbrellas. I'm going to be using them all next year.
Color.
Oh yeah. Oh, we changed. We're mauve this year.
We call it the curb store by us.
The curb store. Yeah.
Curb store
my buddy
opens
calls it the giving alley. Yeah.
The giving alley.
The giving alley where he lives. He gets all kinds of cool shit. He leaves shit in the giving alley and he picks shit up out of the giving alley.
My couch is a garbage pick.
John calls
really?
something else the
Nice
giving
leather
alley.
couch.
Right on, dude. Nice leather couch.
It was
Only been used in
perfect.
one porn.
No, this guy
Did you
throws
put a
out
black
everything.
light on it?
No, the guy throws out his whole teak patio furniture, like all teak,
He got it.
all
He got
nice.
it home.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm listening.
You put a black light on it. It looked like cow print.
I only eat off of it sometimes. That was after John stayed over.
Oh man. That's pretty fucking good. Yeah, I do. There's a point where you do have to draw the line. I think that's it. The rule is you only garbage pick furniture you're ultimately going to burn, right? You might enjoy it for the weekend at the rally or something like that, but then it goes in the fire.
No, we're good. We're taking it because I got it. I had a cart. I put it on a cart and I was pulling it with my passport.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. People who are listening might not have caught that. You got to back up. Wait a second. You garbage picked a couch.
Right.
With a Honda Passport.
Right. And
is it the pickup truck version?
No, it was the passport
version.
Honda Passport. Standard passport. Right. Big carrying, family carrying.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And the little girl standing in the door. Look it! Somebody's taking the couch! Screaming out the door.
You went and got a cart. You got a 4-wheeled cart.
Yeah.
You got a cart from somewhere.
Yeah, I have a cart.
Because you didn't take it with you on the passport everywhere you go.
No, I mean, I hooked it to the back of my passport just like I hooked my boat trailer to the back of my passport and I pulled that home.
You don't own a small boat. All your boats are big.
Well, this is like for us. I have a friend of mine gave me a trailer.
Is it the trailer that's out of the property?
No, it's about the same size trailer as that, though.
Okay, that's a lot of trailer to pull behind a fucking passport.
Yeah, so I just hooked the safety chains on it.
The word anything bigger than radio flyer should never be behind a fucking passport.
It pulled it just fine.
God damn. Jesus Christ. So you got a 4-wheel cart, you put a goddamn couch on it sideways, and you dragged it somehow behind a passport.
Yep.
Wow. That's amazing. That's shocking.
I've gotten a lot of stuff on that passport.
My God.
Got
okay. All right.
Stereo equipment,
But you have those
critters.
expandable bag things on the back.
Of all the things you've got, I bet you've never got laid.
Not on the passport yet.
Yeah.
There's always hope.
Right. There's a lot of things you can get. Lane ain't one of them.
I won the rally. I won the Lakewood Moto rally on my passport.
On your passport.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. I think I
Look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Look it up.
It's on the internet.
It is? Yeah.
My son and I won it. He was a navigator. He's like, it was one of those timed
There's a picture of
rallies.
John right there. He's getting our fridge. Just picking up a fridge on his way home right quick. Yeah. Yep. I love the safety concern. The dude's wearing a helmet. Meanwhile, the kid is holding the cart with his testicles. That's the only thing. He's got his dick in that top case.
Are the ropes around the kid?
The rope is literally around the kid and the fridge.
Those look like
Those are
bungee cords.
bungees. Those are bungees going around the fridge and the kid. And dad's pulling him on a grand dink. Yep. Yeah.
Well, that's his stepson. That's not his real kid.
Yeah, I mean, there's another refrigerator being hoisted on the back of a 180cc scooter, 125. Well done.
Did you ever see that one from TikTok? It's the guy who's on a bicycle and he sees a fridge.
Yep.
And he one arms a fridge on a bicycle.
I did see that. Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck.
It's a mini fridge, but it's still amazing. Yeah,
right?
it's epic. What's that? Yeah, it's this dude. It's this dude right here. It's that dude. Yeah. That right there.
You just got to want it.
You just gotta want it, and that dude wants it more than most.
That's not that mini.
No, that's a pretty big fridge. That's a pretty fucking big fridge. Yeah, that is
his wife was like, I need to keep my beer cool, and if you can bring me something, I'll take care of you.
Right.
That motherfucker.
And that's different guys. So that's that guy and that guy are different guys. So I gotta tell you, when
part of the same club, though.
When it comes to moving a beer fridge, people have superhuman
The
strength.
Hofford School
That's the
of
one I think
Cheap.
I'm talking about because he gets on a bicycle with that.
That guy right there.
Yeah,
that guy right there. Completely. You know that two things are going to happen. One, somebody's going to come out and say, "Where's that fridge I left there?" And that's going to be the second thing that happens.
Honey.
Wait, go back to that guy though. Is he shirtless and shorts in the snow? The other guy that was lifting up the big.
That
fridge.
guy?
No. The one in the green.
What's
pants.
funny is there's pictures of at least 3 different guys hoisting refrigerators on bicycles. At least 3. No, it's not show. It's just a whited out picture.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a washed out picture.
He's like, look at the one down there. There's like, see all this? Look at right there to the right. Oh, that's sunlight. Never mind.
That's sunlight.
No, it
Again,
looks
that's how you know you've been living in Cleveland too long.
It does look like
What is
snow.
that white light in the sky?
Yeah, exactly. Great.
Do we have any parting gifts for our contestant today?
You want a lowbrow sign and a lowbrow banner. Right.
You want a mini fridge.
That's
You
exactly.
want
a
to
tongue
take it home on your bike.
moisturizer, so when you ride the bus, your tongue won't stick to the window.
Okay, so
I did win a bronze medal in the Olympics, so
You did win a bronze medal?
yeah, the Special Olympics.
Again, doesn't matter. It's still. But here's what I would like to do. I would like any of our. We have Daniel KROMPKE brought in some items to be given away to our to any of our podcast listeners. So we had to come up with a stupid thing. So I've come up with a stupid thing. I will mail this to you if you were anywhere in the lower 48. We have a lowbrow sign. John or Chris, would you go over there, grab that? There's a lowbrow sign and a banner. If you pick those items up and bring them over here, we'll put them on display for our podcast viewers to see. They're on the seat of that green Vespa. And they are going, we'll do this. So if you send us a story, and you can send it to any of the usual suspects, you can send it to clevelandmoto@gmail.com. We're going to send you this medal. That's real metal. Only real signs make that noise. That's right. So we're going to send you a Lowbrow Customs metal sign. Very metal. And then we're also going to send you a Lowbrow Customs banner. Only real banners make that sound. It's a real banner. It's not a fake banner. It's not a David banner. It's a real banner. And then we'll get that Lowbrow Customs. You can show your friends how authentic you
I
are.
thought it was Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner? David Banner? Brent Banner?
No, I'm not
All the little banners? Yep. So that's
Gordon.
coming to you.
Bruce Wayne.
And then I've got another gift that we're going to put in there, but it's a super secret gift that all the podcast guys aren't allowed to know about yet. But I'm going to put
bottle
one
of
those in there
Johnny
too.
Drum.
But here's the thing that you got to do. You got to work for this. Many will enter, only one will leave. This is the Squid Games of podcast stupid games.
Okay.
Red light, green light. Green light, red light, go. Shot in the face. We are going to make you send us a story of the best and or dumbest thing you ever stole while riding a motorcycle.
Oh.
So I want to hear the best and or dumbest thing you ever stole while riding a motorcycle. Scooters do count. Mopeds, bicycles, fuck no. This is not a fucking peddler podcast. So yeah, give us a story. Doesn't matter how long it is.
What about virginity?
Nice.
On your moped?
Nice. Yeah, he was 14, but he had the body of a 12-year-old. There you go.
What,
You
was
would've
that when you were jacking
You would have
off
had
on
to
your
stole
motor?
it because nobody gave it away
Nobody's
freely.
giving it away. Yeah. So whatever you stole, if you stole something cool, write us a little, just and put it.
Of course, allegedly.
ClevelandMoto@gmail.com. Statute of limitations is out on this. We lie about everything anyway. Don't worry about it. Right. I post pictures of my shit on motorcycles on the freeway going 1,000 miles an hour. Some cop shows up. That's all CGI.
Yeah, right.
I'm amazing. He said, I've seen your edits. You're not amazing. I've seen your videos.
You know a guy.
Yeah, you didn't fake that. Yeah. We faked just the speedometer part. It's all made up. It's all fake. So that's the deal. Anything, a little story about something you stole on a motorcycle or a scooter. That's fine. Yeah. Scooter people are relentless, though. I've seen people steal beer mirrors. You know what a beer mirror is? A beer mirror is like you go into a bar, like a nice bar.
Yeah,
they get these really big mirrors. And they have like a, Newcastle brewery or some shit or Guinness or whatever. These things are big. Mm-hmm. They're kind of so big that they don't even really work too hard putting them to the wall because they're like the little pictures and shit. People steal those all the time. So they got like 19 drywall screws going into them. But the big giant fuck off mirror, I saw James come out of a place one time, full size. Proud.
He probably had no idea he was doing it.
No. He's like, who threw that fucking mirror in the back of my truck? Some angry,
Phil,
angry fucker.
You got to help me. One of our friends is a thief.
Yeah. We were at a motorcycle. I think statute of limitations is out on this one. There's a quickie. We're at the Indianapolis used to have the motorcycle expo, the dealers expo for motorcyclists.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is where you get like 400 people in a room. That's okay. But if there are 400 motorcycle dealers in a room, that's fucking, they're all just children. They all just fucking, their wives aren't there. We're going to get horse and blah, blah, blah. Like Indianapolis, you don't have any of that shit. No. You're in India, no place. There's nothing going on.
We went with the Star Boys every year, and I had the Rider for Life booth.
Yeah.
There. So, it was fucking nuts.
And it's just all a bunch of dealers. So it's like you want to get the attention of the dealers. You're like, all right, free beer in the Fulmer tent from 4:04 to 4:05 p.m.
Yeah.
And there's 9,000 people to get like the world's worst free beer. And they're just throwing it down their hole. Yeah. It's and it's like that will be like, okay. And then at 4:10 to 4:15, Parts Unlimited booth has free beer.
Right, and everybody had flasks.
Yeah.
You couldn't walk around and talk to somebody with here, have a snort.
Right.
So by like 2 p.m., you're hammered.
You're fucking. But then like there would always be some group that's like trying to outdo it. And they're like, right now in the Riders for Life Party Pavilion, we've got Kid Rock. And they would like literally have somebody come in and do like 3 songs.
Yeah.
And some artists you've actually heard of.
But it's not in their prime.
No. Yeah, they're a one-hit wonder from way back or whatever. So, but anyway, there will always be that thing. And back when the Dealer Expo used to be straight up out of control, we had these guys from, I think they were from Cincinnati or Columbus, went into one of the bars, saw a fucking Newcastle neon sign. Not fake neon sign, a legit straight up neon sign. And they were like, I gotta have that. And these fucking engineers are like, who's got a Gerber tool? And I'm like, give him a goddamn Gerber tool. Make that shit happen, Johnny. And they worked on this thing forever. And they got it off the fucking wall. And it was like above the staircase. So one guy had to stand on the other guy's shoulders to get this thing. They got it down. They didn't break it. They got through the front door of the place. And they were so excited that the guy took it and he fucking yeeted it in the back of his pickup truck.
Yeah.
And it just shattered. And then the fucking neon went everywhere and just exploded. And I was like, you fucking assholes.
Yeah.
You snatched failure from the mouth of greatness. Like, it could have been so cool that time you stole a kick-ass fucking Newcastle neon sign. Nope. Shatter. And we're all in the second story window, watching them out the window, watching this whole thing happen. And they had no choice because they still had to exit. They still had to haul ass like they had achieved the goal because they're no less guilty of stealing something. The fact that they just destroyed it because they're stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. If you rob a bank and the fucking ink thing blows up, you're still in trouble.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You don't just stop and say, got me.
Well, it's worthless, so I'm okay. Right?
Okay, you know what? We tried to steal your neon sign, $500, but it blew up, so we're just going to hang around and drink now more, okay? Bye. No, this fucking totally fucked that up. They totally screwed that completely.
No, but you know what? You were absolutely right, though. They'd be like, today at 4:00, we have Nelson.
Yes.
And you're like, wait, weren't that the Nelson twins? Yeah, no, we couldn't afford both of them. We just have
We're
Nelson.
just a Nelson. We have one Nelson. But you can't tell which one it is.
No.
But it's a Nelson.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And
down the street, they're getting both Gallaghers. We have one Nelson. That's so fucking stupid.
how awesome would it have been if the 2 Gallaghers would have fought with the fucking hammers?
Would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
Again, that's a missed opportunity. I don't know why
Yeah.
they didn't go for that. Jesus Christ, I would pay to see that. Better than most of the things that anybody's ever paid
Didn't
to
he
see.
deny
That's right
that
up there
for the
with
longest
Batman.
time, too?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
Andrew WK. There's a couple of them, too.
Are there really?
Oh, yeah.
There's more than one.
Yeah.
So there's like Andrew WK and Andrew WK the Deuce.
The guy who shows up and plays occasionally when the real guy
Really?
does. Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because like they showed pictures and they're just totally 2 different dudes. They both have white
really?
T-shirts. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But again, the white guy rap world is not that deep.
Right.
So you're like,
Yeah.
who is it? It's Eminem.
Yeah.
Or Andrew WK. Or
One of them fucking
Tech
guys, yeah.
8 or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. I don't know. That's how old we are. That's it, man. Anybody got anything else? Oh, let's shut this down so the old kids can go to bed. Fuck, I feel so
Right.
terrible. I feel fucking guilty for keeping them awake and shit.
You know what it is? Sometimes you come into the podcast, and
Yeah.
obviously the listeners know, and like
Yeah.
the energy's great. We
Yeah.
just fucking roll, and just,
Right.
like last week, 3 hours.
3 hours.
Fucking 3 solid
3
hours.
fucking hours, yeah.
This week it's like pulling teeth. These two guys.
Well, the problem is I'm
mean-
sitting across the bar from them and I'm getting sleepy. And I'm like,
A slice of pizza and a beer, that's pretty much a tranquilizer for me.
yeah, but anybody who knows, I don't go to sleep until 4:00 in the morning. When my wife's getting out of bed, we high five and I go in the bed. That's how I operate. I sleep very little.
What do you call that? Hot bunk.
Hot racking.
Hot racket.
Hot racking. A hot pocket. It's a little different.
Hot.
I do got a question for you.
Yeah.
So, what would you suggest putting on like an acrylic windshield for anti-rain?
Another windshield. No.
Seriously, like, that's
Well,
where I'm at.
we did talk about this on the one podcast.
Yeah. So there's a product called
pepperoni grease.
Papa John's grease.
Well, see, I remember we were talking
Papa
about the
John's
face shield,
grease.
but I didn't know for the acrylic.
So there is. So there's a product that's used in the aviation industry called Clearview or CleanView. And Clearview, and I know it's one of those things that's, it's spelled wrong. It's got to be spelled wrong. But
KLER.
I think it is, yeah.
V.
Yeah, VU or something, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It is Clearview. It's actually all clear. So it's all clear, and I'll put it up on the screen just so you can see it. I used to work in an airport a long time ago, and if there's one thing that I can tell you about airplanes, the people that operate them spare no expense. And they're very proud. They'll tell you about it. And so it is true that that product right there, it's this shit. A lot of airplanes don't have windshield wipers because windshield wipers are friction and they would cause dirt on the windshield to scratch up and shit like that. So this is a product that we sold at the airport very many years ago. And I don't think anybody has ever found anything that works better.
Except for pizza grease.
Apparently, except for pizza grease. Yeah.
And it can also be used as a prophylactic for COVID-19.
Well, again, and what can't, honestly. So this stuff does legitimately work. It does make the windshield look fantastic, but also water won't stick to it.
Nice.
Yeah. So the shit does work. I don't know if we happen to have any here in the shop. I also know that we have Plexus here. So if you don't fly an airplane, but if you're riding a BMW, then you know what Plexus is, because when you go to any sort of a BMW rally, the guys wake up in the morning and spray Plexus on each other.
What about Honda Polish?
What about Honda Polish?
Honda Polish is, I think it's Plexus rebranded.
I was going to say, doesn't it sound? It sounds to me like that might be Plexus with a different name.
Yeah.
But in BMW owners, as is airplane owners, spare no expense.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
On their costume.
On their costume.
And their plexiglass.
Yes. Plexus Plastic Cleaner and Polish is what that shit's called. And that Plexus, that's something that if you do, if the all clear's not expensive enough for you at $5.50 a bottle, which is very cheap, and it's
half ounce.
and it's given to you in a bottle that looks like your dad had it and had his Hoppies number 9 or his insect repellent. Like, these bottles haven't even existed for 25 years, but yet here we have it. But yes, Plexus is a suitable alternative, obviously. And as luck would have it, you can get it from the same exact store. So it must be good if it's on mypilotstore.com. Plexus plexiglass cleaner, 13 ounces. So 13 ounces of Plexus, $30 fucking dollars.
Jesus.
Yeah. Whereas 8 ounces of all clear is $5.50, and it's not an aerosol. All of it goes where you want it to go. As opposed to the aerosol, which is we can tell you in the shop that 20% of it goes on your windshield, the other 80% goes on our polished concrete floor to make the customers fall down. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's super cool. But yeah, so that's a thing. So those are two products that absolutely will protect your fucking windshield. Yeah.
Oh, and I do have a tech tip for you.
Yeah.
I put on what are those things called? Those foam grips. Whatever
Hush
they're called.
puppies or grip puppies?
Grip puppies.
Yeah.
Right?
Whoa. What?
Right. So I put these stupid things on, right?
Wait, are they the things that go under your grips?
No, over.
Oh,
They're grip puppies.
hippo
man.
hands.
No. Just they're squishy grips. They're like a thing. They have Velcro.
those
you can wrap them. Or did you get the
Those
ones you have to
things.
stretch?
That's what I'm gonna say, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
like instead of stretching,
Oh, I always just called these condoms. All right. So this is just a neoprene sleeve.
yes,
Yeah, somebody
make
had
your-
an old wetsuit and they
To make
cut
your thing
fucking
feel
donuts
better.
on
Yeah,
it.
it makes your thing feel bigger.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Right. Got it.
Tip 1:
Yeah.
they are slightly different sizes.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
the
bought one
mask.
of those.
That's the mask that you need if you're going to go to that party in Detroit. They're all wearing that shit. That is the official mask. Yeah,
Purge
kick ass. It's a purge mask.
I just got my red one delivered. I'm
you
gonna
can-
scare the
I have a
shit out
red
of a
one, too.
coworker.
You can
tomorrow.
binge and purge. So you got your grip puppies. Now, what's your complaint with the grip puppy?
Well, trying to get them on for starters.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because they fit so tight.
Yeah.
And you can't stretch them. I tried hot water. I tried warming them up a little bit with a hair
Yeah, I've got
dryer,
them on
man.
that Vespa back there has them on.
So how'd you get yours on?
I didn't. I bought the bike that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's what you have to do.
Mine Velcro in the middle.
Oh, mine definitely don't Velcro.
Yeah, I think I got a pair on my S65, but the grips on that are about,
right?
that big.
Yeah,
The
well,
size of John's wiener.
the 55 out there is just a little bit bigger.
Don't
So
insult my friend.
Oh, it's okay for you to beat me up, but not anybody else.
I'm the only one that's allowed to be.
I just typed in, how do you put a grip on a puppy? And we can't go there. We cannot fucking go there. I'm going to let you know
You
right
grab
now.
that little thing by the neck.
You cannot. We can't show, even on this podcast, we can't show. Nope, can't show it. Nope, no dice.
Demonetized.
Nope, no.
And in
So,
the show notes, how to put a grip on a puppy.
but I can tell you that all things that are based on that is liquid soap.
Oh,
Yeah, liquid soap.
I didn't want to get it. I was afraid that it wouldn't dry underneath it.
Right. Yeah, liquid soap, because all the, like, a little bit of liquid soap. The trick with liquid soap is that, and hairspray too. Yeah. Liquid soap and hairspray start as lubricants and end as adhesives. Yep. So those are things that you can use. They start as lubricants, they end as adhesives.
I always use PB Blaster on grips. Takes them right off and puts them right back
Puts them
on.
right back on again.
And it makes the rubber a little sticky, so they kind of
They grip. Yeah, exactly. That's definitely a cool thing. But yeah, do not put a grip on a puppy.
Well,
you try
it might
compressed air
deteriorate
at all?
after a while.
I did. So I saw that video. That dude was just like, look, I slipped this thing like kind of on a. Never mind.
Oh, but he
So-
used compressed air.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, I tried that. It didn't work. My compressor's too
So
small.
basically the whole rule is just, as, you blow it.
Right?
You slide it.
So I filled the damn
Grip it,
center of
blow
it with zip ties. I know this sounds stupid. Zip ties.
These zip ties, what?
Right? Zip ties, and then pushed it over. The zip ties acted like a slick track. For
Oh,
it,
they did.
And then you just pull the zip ties out.
Oh, shit.
And it goes right where
That's
you
a
want
very
it to.
good idea. Yeah.
And it was
Nice.
done.
What can't you do with zip ties, for fuck's sake?
Right?
That's actually intelligent.
That's a really, really good idea. I like it. Yeah, grip puppies.
It only took me 40 minutes to come up with that one. Tried every fucking thing else.
My buddy that I got that bike from, he was having hand problems, like carpal tunnel problems and stuff. So he thought his life would be easier if he made the grips girthier.
Right.
So he made the grips girthier, and I don't like them. So it's one of those things, like, I will probably be removing them because all of my bikes my whole life have had sport bike like Renthals. So I like the grips to be kind of minimalist.
Well,
Yeah.
I have pretty bad arthritis.
Yeah.
And I thought those were going to help me.
Okay, yeah.
Make them thicker and
Make
bigger.
'em thicker, yeah.
It made it worse.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
does. You can't. I don't know. I think it's just too big of a.
Not a good, well, because you're used to your hog, right?
Right.
So
Like,
right, you just, your hand is naturally shaped, right? Okay. If I walked up right now and hit you in the head with a baseball bat,
Right.
and you passed out, I guarantee your hand would be like on your junk. It's just it. Like, where our shoulders sag, where our elbows turn and everything, we just can't help it. We've got millions of years of evolution
Right.
that we would just be walking around just literally just holding our balls with both hands.
Right.
That's it. And then eventually our balls get lower and our arms get longer. And
that's
we look
what-
like orangutans.
No, we look
Or
like a
chicky.
Tanuki or whatever.
A Tanuki.
That's
Walk
right.
like a Tanuki.
Yep. That's exactly right.
you're so cute,
Yep.
Tanuki.
So
He
yeah.
comes when you get
need,
one.
like-
It comes with a spatula in case it's cold.
I want to get like the video of the Japanese girl talking about a Tanuki. You're so nice. Look at the Tanuki. Like the Japanese girl TikTok Tanuki.
Oh man, this is going to go in a very weird place. I'm just
If
I'm
John
just going
keeps
to let you
going,
know
we
right
just need
now.
umbrellas. He'd be shooting us with fucking.
Yeah, this is going to get weird. Yeah, this is absolutely going to get weird.
Thanks, listener.
Yeah,
Thank
there you go. Yes, that's. I mean, that is again.
Chris, I don't think there's going to be any Janus jokes for a while. We
Way
got
to
a
not
whole
let
new
us
thing.
down. Yep, I totally agree. I think, you know what, and again, listener created content is always the best content. It does not matter what it is. We can come up with shit. It's never going to be as funny or as much fun as when a listener comes up.
Tanuki.
If you don't think that the 7th member of this podcast is not going to be a Tanuki on the video, fucking.
No shit.
I just can't wait till the Tanuki gets a hold of Chris's anus.
Well, that could be a whole thing.
I wonder if the Tanuki could ride Chris's Jananus.
Did you just call it Jananus?
Now wait.
It's easy for you to say.
Do you think if the Tanuki was sitting on Chris's Janus, it'd have room for both his balls?
On top of or inside?
Either way.
Either any way you look at it, it's okay.
Well, if it was raining, he'd want to go in.
Yeah.
Right, that's true too. I completely agree. Yeah, so yeah, no shit. I again, it never. I don't think it's ever going to get weird enough for me. I 100% don't think it's ever going to get weird enough. There's just the point where we think we're living a life, we think we're being good, we think we're being productive members of society and creating content for folks because everybody has a fucking podcast these days.
Well, I don't think that. I have no misconceptions that I'm not any of that.
And then it turns out one of our listeners just pulls something out of their ass and just makes us all go, oh, well, shit. That makes sense. So yeah, the Tanuki is. There's going to be Tanuki.
I just like how he didn't mention the fact that it has giant balls.
What I think happened is I think what we have is we have a very smart listener.
Yeah.
And I think we have a very smart listener that knew that when he said that, we were going to Google it.
Oh, yeah.
And that he completely 100% knew that when he said Tanuki, and then he said it was going to be like, that's our spirit animal. And then what did we all do? Look at that. Just look at that. There's no way that you can look at that and not just go, yeah.
Dude, I'm having flashbacks to getting out of the shower this morning and looking in the mirror. That's a problem, man.
Oh, Tanuki. So, yeah.
Does that Tanuki's scrotum have a six-pack?
You know what? I think that particular Tanuki, that particular one that was up there, I think that's just a really, really veiny. It's real veiny.
Okay, those are wrinkles.
Super veiny.
Well, he's got that middle fucking vein that's going down.
The people people that have one of these.
It does look like if you look at your scrotum, doesn't it look like there was a seam there at one point?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, believe me.
I wonder if there's some magical position where all of a sudden
for our podcast listeners that were not born
bilateral symmetry.
For people,
that's where it was glued together. So if you tickle it just right.
When I was a kid, I asked my mom about that, and she says that's where God sewed you together. So she goes, like a teddy bear, you're all full of stuffing, and she's like, but that's where once all the stuffing was in, God sewed you together, was between your dingus and your butthole, your taint business, all that.
So you were all hollowed out when they.
Yeah, and they just stuffed you full of stuffing,
fistful,
right? And then stuffed you full of stuffing.
All your guts in there.
And she said that stripe, the stripe we're talking about, that stripe right there. She said that stripe right there. She said that from your dingus all the way down to your exhaust port. That was where they just put the stitching in.
So at some point, God had you as a hand puppet.
That's exactly where I was in my head. I'm like, we just talking about God fisting us as we were coming together.
The frog. Yeah, that's it. All got a little Jim Henson in us. So
right there on the noodly appendage.
Right there, exactly.
Making everybody beat each other with little bats. Oh, I don't like you. Oh, I don't like
you. So again, to our listener, thank you for giving us Tanuki. I'm sure that will live on in infamy. I'm sure it'll also live on ad nauseum.
And there's going to be shirts and all kinds of things.
I'm thinking there's going to be horrible, horrible things because, again, that ain't wrong. No. That is literally one black T-shirt away from all of us.
The only thing with more balls in this podcast is a Tanuki.
Again, there's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason.
If I was going to build a motorcycle right now, it would be called a Tanuki.
Yeah.
Right.
And you'd have those truck nuts hanging off the back.
So I'm at that Buffalo rally, and I didn't even know that Leslie or somebody clipped a set of truck nuts to my scooter.
Oh, nice.
But they're like little scooter-sized truck nuts. So they're like, truck nuts are like this big, right? Like 2 inches. And but the ones I got, the ones that were on my scooter were like this big. So they're
you
like,
know what those are?
They're like Chihuahua sized.
Those are croc balls. People made them for Crocs.
No.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Truck nuts for Crocs.
They're this big, right?
Yeah.
So what I did was I took my Road Glide, my Road King, and I put him under my Road King. So it's my big ass Road King's got little tiny balls, and I spray painted them gold. So they're little tiny gold balls hanging out from underneath the back of my giant Road King.
You got to call it gold member now.
Yeah, well, it's not fucking Tanuki. That's for goddamn sure.
Dismember.
Yeah, that is it. So that's it. So from here at the House of Tanuki, we'd like to thank you for listening today. Whoa, Jesus Christ! If just be careful when you open up Tanuki shit. For all of our look, I'm just gonna say this once.
There's got to be some little Japanese guy dressed like Tanuki.
For now, both of our listeners. For both of our listeners, it's spelled Tanuki. All right. Before you open it, make sure you're not at work. Make sure you're coworkers, because the only thing weirder than Tanuki stuff that comes from the factory is Tanuki shit people make at home. And apparently, if you're carving an old dead tree in front of your house and you make it into a Tanuki, gimme, Jesus Christ, look at that fucking thing. That's incredible. There's no way that Tanuki can walk. There's just no way. Yeah, he's got to have calluses on the bottom of his scrot. That's epic. So that's it. And I also am thinking about
clear view on the bottom of them so they slide along.
Special, Brunswick ball lube. Just steal it from the bowling alley. Get that nice slide. A little hook to the right if you get it rolling just right. It's perfect. All right. Nothing else from anybody else?
No.
Oh, man. Fuck it. Ride fast and take chances. Play us out of here. Press the Tanuki button.